The world is full of wonders.
Magic is hidden in small moments.
And monsters could be hiding just out of sight.
But if you're looking to find them,
adventure is waiting to happen.
You never know who you'll meet along the way.
We are the Storyteller Squad. Hello, adventurers. Welcome back to the Storyteller Squad. We are here with more Monster of the Week. But before we begin, let's introduce those heroes. Tree Speaker, Housemate Seeker, and if you ask Mira, she's a real keeper. Felicity Starnbrook.
Hello!
When trolls come a-callin', you won't catch him fallin'. He's done with this shit, so he's having a sit. Hugo Rashad. Late night shifts? What even is sleep? She's stopping wars and learning spells. Isn't that neat? Raven Eugenia. He's a dog. He's a mouse. He's stretchy and green. He's our resident demon, and not even that mean. Damien Edgecrest. Magic's not really her comfort zone, but she's sure to cold read yours just from your tone. Bethany Miller. He's taking good notes, and you won't catch him slacking, unless there's a dog he's behind that needs patting. Agent Whittaker. And lastly, she's golden and bright, and she'll step up to fight. But she'd really rather not. Isn't there some other solution? Aidan Brightwood. Let's have an adventure. So last time, you all solved the problem of the invading Bogalog tribe, a group of house elf who were displaced. They used to live in the house that was built on the foundation of where Bethany's house is now. But when that house was knocked down, they were forced to leave, go live in the woods, find somewhere else to be for a while. But now that they knew the house had been rebuilt, they came back to try and reclaim it. But the problem was there was another group of house elves living there called the Realm. They've been there since the Millers have. So there was a problem in that the Bogalogs, they didn't really want to share and were not really thinking the problem through logically. They were just sort of emotionally, it's ours, give it back. So much so that they summoned a troll and sent that force of nature justice against the house to try and have the Millers and the Realm driven away. And so you guys all were able to step up and perform some peace negotiating and stand-in ambassador work, as many of the Millers are unaware of fantastical things. And one Bethany Miller ran off and got caught by the troll, as is the mundane's job. And so, with the troll successfully appeased when he was convinced that the Bogalogs and the Realm came to an agreement after Felicity offered her home to the displaced house elves, the troll disappeared, and you all were able to get out of the Miller backyard before Bethany's mom had too many questions to ask you all. So, we will pick up now with Felicity, because you have questions to ask.
6. So I get a patchy vision.
Patchy vision. So it's another one of your dream visions. You're not so much having this in the middle of the day or during waking hours. You're tossing and turning in your sleep, and we see what you're seeing through this dream. We see Agent Whittaker being knocked through some boards in an old building and falling down into a pile of hay with a clatter of dust and debris. We hear a roar, but it has sort of a squealing quality to it. We see Damien go from human to large goop creature, but then very quickly think better of that and create a space in himself for this dark, shadowy brute to kind of run through, which then immediately runs and knocks into Hugo as he's baffed against the wall and collapses down. This creature then is running, gets over to an old rusty truck, comes in, slams the door shut, starts it up, starts to drive away, and Aidan lands, her big wings flashing forward to try and stop the truck, but she gets basically buffeted into the side and knocked to the ground. And Felicity, you wake up in bed, and your friends are clearly maybe going to be in danger, but they're not gonna be. They are in danger. That scene is literally happening right now with the 4 of those hunters I will fill you guys in very quickly on what's going down. Agent Whittaker, you were called by one of the Eastie Agency representatives, someone in security, with a frantic report that someone has gotten past one of our checkpoints. He's headed your way. You need to stop him. Description of the car, etc. And so you and Damien, who doesn't sleep, this is very late at night, immediately rushed off to that thing. And through the course of that, one of you had the idea, probably it was Damien, to say, we should get the others, and started texting people in the text chain. But the only people who are up and up to do something are Aidan and Hugo, who is a night owl. And so she got up, knocked on Hugo's door. We're going, right? And he kind of grudgingly agreed to go. And the two of them met you at a agreed upon point. You all piled into the Whittaker truck, the Whittaker mobile, whatever you want to call it. And we're able to cut off this dude who was basically trying to escape or get through a protected zone. And so, he's some sort of beast man, a shifter, and then he's smuggling something. But he just pulled away in his truck with whatever he came to that barn to pick up. And so, Agent Whittaker, you're getting up in the barn, the stall that you fell through the top loft, and then are now down in there, getting up out of there, dusting yourself off after you guys have let him escape. Not let him, but you didn't catch him.
Okay, so he's just gone now. Can we follow him, or is he?
You could try to, but I mean, all of you have just taken a pretty massive hit. This guy caught you all kind of unaware, because you weren't told what he was when the security team called you that night. But you discovered as he started to confront you that he's more than human and stronger than a natural person.
Do you want us to start off with a certain amount of harm from the tussling?
You don't, because you slinked your way out of some harm there with some clever shape-shifting. I would say Hugo maybe has one, and Aidan has one. Whittaker probably also has one, but it's not gonna...
And it's a sufficient amount of time after the past that I would heal
any
from the
harm
trauma.
from the last adventure
Perfect.
is healed. And this scene right now is basically just a setup, so you don't really have to track the harm, because you're going to go to bed and
Perfect.
not,
Solid.
continue fighting.
Agent Whittaker, what's the plan? Are we going to search around here for clues? Are we going to try to chase him down?
I suppose we're going to get in touch with contacts we have in the area to see if they saw where he went.
Can I bird mode and fly and see if he's still running anywhere, or if he's just car and is in traffic and it's too late?
I think in checking on Hugo to make sure that he was okay after this linebacker truck of a man knocked him into a wall, time has passed enough.
Okay.
Aidan not having been able to stop him either, he's now had a bit of a head start. It'd be tough to track him and actually be able to catch him at this point.
Okay.
So Hugo is kind of out of it and is mumbling something about getting to the Whittaker Winnebago.
Aidan will come over to you, Hugo, and she has straw and grass in her own hair, but she's dusting you off first. She looks over at Damien, sees Whittaker coming out of the barn. Okay, everyone's all right? And then she just sighs exasperatedly and says, well, that was a mess.
You should probably come up with a plan next time.
I think, some teamwork drills might be better if we're going to keep doing this.
Wait, keep doing this?
Well, I don't want to stop.
Okay.
What do you do otherwise? If you're not fighting monsters, what are you doing for fun that we're taken away from?
Fighting monsters is one thing. Dealing with a team or a squad of people that I have no formal association with is not the safest thing.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. We should make this safer and have a formal association.
Safer, yes. We were lucky it was this late at night. I'm pretty sure Felicity would have insisted on coming. We really need to figure out what we're doing about those three and maybe get them some protection or something. Aren't you inducting one of them, Whittaker?
Trying my best. None of them have been particularly forthcoming on the offer.
I'm working on getting Felicity some body armor because all members of the Edgecrest Agency should be somewhat protected.
Are you actually going to pay for it, Damien?
I'm saving up.
Okay.
And by saving up, I mean I haven't found any yet. As soon as I do, though.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm supposed to meet with Felicity this week to maybe do some magic training. We'll see how that goes.
Get her sizes so I know what type of body armor to get her.
Sure. What about you, Whittaker? Is there anything you can offer to a agent in training? That suit of yours seems to be able to take a hit.
There are certainly things you can offer to agent in training, but none of them are officially part of the agency yet. I can't offer more than the mundane, well-tailored suit, I'm afraid.
Maybe we should all visit.
The agency?
Well, if
Yeah.
you're trying to convince them. Might help to see the place up close. I doubt we'd get anything on your end, Hugo.
You don't want anything on my end.
I really want Aidan there, but I also really don't want Aidan there.
Thanks.
No, it's not your personality. It's who you are.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's who you are as a person.
So not your personality at all, just more of all of you.
Yes.
who you are. It's not
So are we going to burn down this barn so we don't have any evidence left over?
No, this is someone's
Matches.
property. No.
Okay,
Oh my god, no.
That we were getting rid of evidence here. Okay. Well,
Damien, let me see your agent skills in action here. What evidence has been left behind other than some broken beams?
you didn't seem too keen on going around and searching, so I figured we were probably just going to get rid of anything that was left behind.
We could be keen on going around to search. And I'll have someone do investigate a mystery. Damien, would you like to?
I would love
get
to
in
investigate
there,
a mystery.
Whittaker, if you also would like to investigate, I would allow that.
I would like to investigate a mystery. Sharp. What is my sharp?
7.
That's a mix. That's not bad.
Can I do a what happened here?
It's an
in
11.
terms of
It's an 11.
why this place was chosen as a place to, go and operate secret things?
We'll do Damien's question first, and then Whittaker, I think you get 2, or is it 3 questions for your success?
2.
So think about yours. Damien is going to get the answer to what happened here. And Damien, as you're looking around, this is a barn meant for storing like larger livestock, horses or cattle. But in the stalls, it seems they've been converted to hold more like crates and totes and things. And you're not really sure if the guy who got away, if this is his barn or if this is just a drop point that he uses because it's abandoned, and maybe other people do too for similar supernatural smuggling. But one of the crates that you see in one of the stalls, and you caught this guy, you all like pulled up to the barn and then confronted him inside. And in the stall that he was pulling something out of, you see another wooden egg crate sort of thing that's tipped over, and there are little eggshells amongst the hay and the nesting that was in that. But they're not chicken eggshells. They're dark blue color with some texture to them.
Rubber gloves, Ziploc, samples.
Okay.
Nice.
Little Sharpie to label them.
Whittaker, what are your questions?
Where did it go? Any like ticket stubs or notes left on the ground?
Yeah, there isn't
Receipts.
there isn't that, but just the nature of this case kind of helps inform you of that, because you were called by an Eastie checkpoint, and they have these occasionally set up when they are investigating a smuggling or a drug trafficking situation. And I mean, you're in Autumn Falls right now, but the hub for most supernatural trading and large organized crime endeavors like this is Portland. This is the biggest city nearby. That or Seattle. But probably Portland. Portland has a bigger supernatural community. They're living amongst the humans. And so if this guy is smuggling things and maybe harvesting them in the forests, then he'll collect whatever he's got and bring it back to the city to sell. And you've dealt with other crime-like organizations that have done a similar tactic. So just by putting experience next to the details you've got so far, that's your best guess.
And I guess Damien kind of already answered this one, but what is being concealed here?
We can apply that to the guy himself, the monster. It was very dark. Obviously, he's moving at night. But what was being concealed, at least to you at first, he seemed just like a dude. Square face, a little bit of stubble, dark knit beanie hat pulled down over his ears, and like a thick puffy coat, even though it's like springtime. And when you confronted him, you didn't get like a good look at his actual mug. It was kind of just this vague impression. But very quickly, once he realized who was coming in after him, his body shifted and morphed and got a lot bigger up top. And you started to hear that like snuffling, snorting sound, and very like boar-like. So he's some sort of shifter that can change himself in that way. Which again adds credence to the like, he's a smuggler and he's going to probably go to the city to deal with this, because if he's a shifter, it's a lot easier for something like that, a supernatural person of that sort, to blend in amongst normal people and just like transport goods in and around the dark paranormal markets. That's where you're at with this investigation.
I've collected evidence. I think we can get out of here, unless you want to give me some more time to snoop around through these trunks of other people's things that they used to
That is
own.
entirely...
And probably wouldn't miss.
I mean, if you want.
I mean, I do.
Let's not add
All right.
looting to our breaking and entering tonight.
I did ask.
It's an
All right, let's go.
So you all pile into the Whittaker Winnebago and call it a night. You retreat. Whittaker, you drop off Aidan and Hugo close enough to their apartments that they can kind of walk back. And then you and Damien go back to your mobile trailer for the night. Hugo.
And tells Felicity everything that happened.
Do you text her that night?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Felicity, when you wake up, your phone is buzzing and you like get these texts from Damien like describing the dream you had.
I know.
Oh, of course you know. You're my best agent. You're obviously up to date on most things.
Always on the case.
But yes, if you get any more visions about where this fellow headed off to.
I can actually do that right now. So I have... Tune in. I'm going to tune my mind to a monster or minion.
I imagine we're just calling each other in the morning at this point. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
You're probably just calling her once you
Yeah,
drop
'cause I
Aidan
woke-
and Hugo off. Like,
I woke
it's like
up
4
after
a.m.
the vision.
Oh, true. Perfect.
Whittaker just
got-
wants to sleep.
I got an 11. On a 10 plus, I hold 3.
Okay.
Number 1, where is the creature right now?
You quiet yourself, and while Damien is on speakerphone, you just say, "Oh, I can do it now!" And focus your mind. You draw on that energy that you do when you cast magic and use it. And you get a vision of headlights on a highway road, trees whipping by very quickly, but you see that this truck is headed south from Autumn Falls on the interstate.
He's going south. He's on the highway.
Excellent
Whittaker
work.
takes the phone from Damien.
It's on speaker. You don't... Okay. That's...
I also have 2 more questions, so let's see. What's it planning to do right now?
You don't get to hear his voice, but you do see in the front of this car, this square-jawed guy, his nose actually is still a little upturned, like he hasn't like fully reverted to his human. He's like shaking his face a little bit, and like his teeth kind of shrink from tusks down to normal-sized teeth again. And he has his phone out. He's also calling while driving. He's very irresponsible because he's a villain. But he's talking to someone on the phone, and in the back seat is this crate of something, and little lights are occasionally flashing from within it, sort of a light blue, sometimes even bright white light, and it's like rattling and bouncing around.
All right, so he is in his car. He's on the phone while he's driving. Typical villains, am I right? They have no respect for the law. I guess that's kind of in their nature, though. Anyway, he has a sparkly crate in the back of his car. Lights keep coming out of it. I don't know what's in it, though. Last
Still
question.
very useful. Thank you, Miss Stonebrook.
Last question.
Damien takes his phone back.
There's 2 very good ones that I'm deciding between now. Who is it going to attack next?
Next person that gets in his
Or
way.
if not that one, how can I attract its attention? Whichever one you think would be easier to answer.
I think the
All
first
around
one that
the
you
mud.
asked,
Okay.
who is it going to attack next? Your vision has been going in and out, and so you focus again. You see the truck pulling into a gas station, and there's like an attendant at the station filling up the car after the guy asks him for whatever brand of fuel to get. But as it's doing that, that carton in the back of the seat, in the back seat of the truck, is still bumping around and flashing occasionally. And the gas station attendant gets curious and looks in the car, and then you see a big arm reach out the passenger side door and like toss this gas attendant, and then the car like pulls away without paying, and the gas nozzle is just on the ground, like now spitting gas and stuff. The kid is like brushing himself off, like clearly spooked.
So this arm, it wasn't from the guy who was driving?
No, it totally was, but he
Okay.
morphed into his like beast arm, grabbed this
Okay.
kid, like shook, was like, "What do you think you're looking at?" and tossed him. And
All right, so he just stopped at a gas station. Interesting fact, though, car stopped, box is still moving, so it wasn't bumps in the car. It's there's something alive in there. Oh God, he's grabbed the gas station attendant. He that poor kid. He tossed him. Oh, he's leaving again. Oh,
Whittaker takes the phone again.
yeah, you're getting real-time description of an assault by a supernatural person.
Is the kid okay? What's going on?
Kid's fine. Just a little shaken up, I
Oh, thank
think.
God.
But wow, yep, he has one big beefy arm. Let me tell you.
Wow, it's like
Can
listening to those
confirm. He has at
911
least
calls.
one big beefy arm.
He has at least one big beefy arm, and there is something glittery and glowing, and blue and white lights in a box that moves in the back of his car.
Well, I know it's late, but I'm totally ready to go on this.
I'm well rested. Let's go.
Perfect. Let's see if anyone else is up yet.
It is not an appropriate time to be getting Felicity Starnberg out of bed. Whittaker, you know this.
Whittaker also is not well rested.
Exactly. Yeah, you got called at like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, you just need like a cup of coffee and you're
God.
good, right?
I'm ready
You
when
wanna
you
nap
need
it?
Oh my
me.
God, speaking of coffee. Me, Emery, I have laid the foundations to become a total coffee espresso nerd. So this means that Whittaker is now also about to become a coffee espresso nerd.
Which means that Damien is also going to become a coffee espresso.
He
Just
steals
a chain
Whittaker's brand new
reaction.
little mocha pot.
Not cold press? I'm sure if I ask, I'll get a whole spiel like we did on Suits, but...
The mocha pot, it's portable, it's
Oh.
easy to use, easy to clean, and it's perfect for one person making his own espresso. Though you don't get the nice crema on top, which is a shame, but it's a lot cheaper than a lot of fancy electric espresso machines.
Whittaker's voice of reason kicks in and is like, I'm going back to bed. And Felicity, I mean, you say you're well rested, but you are sleepy, and like
It was a complete lie.
Ghosty and Tom are on your windowsill still asleep. They haven't woken up from you talking on the phone. It's sort of that hour in the morning where the sky is starting to get lighter, but there isn't even the sun up right now.
Felicity was just trying to look impressive.
Responsible,
Yeah,
impressive,
and responsible for Director Damien.
We will jump over to Hugo and Aidan as they're walking back to the Riverview apartments. She lets it be quiet as you guys just walk back, still picking bits of straw and things out of your hair as you go. After a while, she does speak up. She says, I feel like there may be something you haven't told me about the Whispered. Are you okay, Hugo?
Well, aside from my back hurting a lot, I'm fine. And he
You
says
know what
that
I mean.
while he's taking off various pieces of leather armor as they're walking and putting them into a backpack.
You know what I mean, though. Ever since more than I have known about what you do, you've been a lot more reserved. It's like you're trying to protect them from information?
Accurate, for the most part.
Well,
It's less protecting them from information, more making sure that whatever they do know, certain other people don't find out that they know.
well, I mean, Agent Whittaker knows a lot. Are you worried about him?
Agent Whittaker is... I don't know if protected would be the wrong word here, but he has well-established people in his corner. People that will keep an eye out for him, that if something does go wrong, will probably... See, I don't really know how what he does really works, but if it's anything like what I've read about when it comes to groups, well-funded groups, I should say, they have resources. He'll be fine. People like Damien. And I use the word people in a weird sense because I'm not sure what he is still. But he can handle himself just fine. You can handle yourself more than just fine. Those three can't handle themselves just fine. Now, I could be wrong. I could be overreacting slightly. I could be making assumptions of them. But better safe than sorry.
I agree, but in a way, the house elf is out of the bag. They're going to be involved, one way or the other. I mean, look at Miss Jones over at the bookshop. She doesn't have an agency, and she's got one of the folk living and working with her. She's not part of your group, I don't think.
As far as I know, no. But at the same time, she knows next to nothing, if anything, about the group.
Well, that's an accurate description of all of us. We know you're in it, but beyond that...
And the fact that you don't know is what keeps you safe.
I feel like we're on the same page here, Hugo. I'm just trying to figure out a way to keep them from getting trampled by strange boarmen in the night, because they will show up next time.
Oh, that boar. Ow.
Should I talk to someone? I could get you permission? I don't know.
Well, beyond my case, in their case at least, I'd say Whittaker getting them some armor, Damien getting them some armor, you teaching them better magic, Raven hopefully working on her footwork. Every single time that gets me. I digress. If they prepare properly, they should be fine no matter what's going on. At least from those type of problems.
I just want to make sure that you don't go off by yourself and wind up getting hurt without backup.
When was the last time I went off by myself and oh, never mind.
Yeah. In a way, it might not be how your group does things, but I kind of like having a team.
My group does. My group does do teams. It's difficult to explain. You know how your family's kind of like in all sorts of broken, scattered bits sometimes?
Yes. She gives you a look, because you know who some of her family are.
Let's just say that in the same way that your family has many different opinions on things and have aligned themselves with each other in certain groupings, mine has done the same.
Okay. And at this point, you guys are back at the double doors, next door neighbors in the apartment complex. Do you want to come when I hang out with Felicity to do magic?
Give me the night to think about it.
All right. Good night, Hugo.
Good night, Aidan.
And she goes into her apartment, not to sleep, but you need to, because it's still late for you. Let's pick up with Felicity in the morning. Felicity, after your call with Damien, you go back to sleep. Mm-hmm. You wake up the next morning, you kind of do your cute little stretch and look out the window. You see a pair of bogalogs shifting and adjusting some bricks in your mom's garden so that they're more straight and upright and the weeds are being pulled and stuff. So they're settling and fine. And it's a brand new day.
I am going to call Damien.
So Damien has spent the morning, because once Whittaker got home, he passed the fuck out. Damien stole his pistol and has placed it on the table and has got those glasses with the multiple layered frames on it and has taken out all the bullets and is very carefully, with tweezers, is putting a little bit of his into a little pad and then dabbing and then putting a little bit on the back of all of the bullets.
Okay.
To magically enchant them so they give him the +1 damage.
Please roll use magic for this to see how effective that will be in the future.
I just completely ruin his pistol completely and don't tell him that is
we'll
the
see.
other option.
We'll see what the dice say.
Ooh.
11.
You and your magic
Damn.
spit. With an 11, a glitch doesn't happen, so it just works. Whittaker has enchanted bullets now.
Perfect.
which is going to be
So-
fun the
so
first
it's
time they
back.
get used.
Yeah, wasn't happy with team members getting pushed around last time.
Yeah.
But yes, Felicity calls. This is Director Edgecrest. How are you, Agent Felicity?
I'm good. Good morning. How's your day been so far?
It's been good. We're getting prepared for the day ahead. Whittaker's still asleep. Let me just step outside. Click. He's earned it. We were up late, but your magic was very helpful. I'm glad that's coming along. I thought you were one of the normal people at first, but you're really powerful.
Oh, thanks. I get that sometimes, but the little people in my backyard are settling in very well.
Oh, how are they?
They're
I
doing good.
missed
They're doing
them.
good. So anyway, wanna hang out?
Of course, absolutely.
We could maybe look into this spooky man with the giant beast arm and the glowing package in the back of his car.
Yeah, Whittaker's still asleep. I'll come pick
That's
you
fine.
up.
We don't need him. He's a little bit of a buzzkill sometimes.
I hear you. I want to exclude Agent Whittaker from this a lot right now. Let
Beautiful.
me tell you.
Come on over. You can meet my tree.
Okay. Whittaker, do you have more than one vehicle, or is it just the camper and the truck?
It's just the camper in the truck. He's only
Okay.
got the one.
I mean, I can bird form. I don't have to steal your van.
That's true. That's true. You can just bird form now, so that's the thing.
What would you like to do, Damien? Whittaker is still asleep.
No, I'll leave him the car. Damien has enough forethought to realize that having to go pick up Agent Whittaker would not be a pleasant experience.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Just
had to
standing
come
there
back.
tapping your foot with your arms folded like you.
So Damien will just fly over.
While you're doing that, let's check in with Raven and Bethany. It's been a few days. Last time, Bethany, you told Agent Whittaker that maybe you weren't the right fit for the agency.
Bethany, I don't know, I can ask Whittaker this. Is Whittaker still keeping her on track to become an agent, or is he not vibing with it as much?
It depends entirely on whether she still wants to. He's opening the door to anyone who's going to be involved in supernatural shit because he thinks this is the best way to protect them.
She has not pressed the issue of whether she is still on track, but I think she still jogs by his house and is outside and texts I'm outside jogging. And so she still tries to get him to go running with her.
They can still run together, that's fine.
I think they're those old the 6-year-old ladies in Florida who jog together and gossip. But it's just it's mostly her gossiping about everything that happens here, but now and again maybe he has a tidbit from the agency that's just pure goss, isn't has literally nothing to do with any of the agency's ongoing. I know nothing about the real agency. I just know about all of the drama, which when you get down to it is really what's important about the EC agency. She feels like she is on okay terms with Whittaker. She's not sure where she is agency professionally, but I think there is an understanding between them that is.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to imply that there was any sort of super bad friendship rift, but just that perhaps she's thinking maybe she's got a different path ahead of her than secret supernatural agent.
I think she's going to continue. She's continuing her training, which is just sleeping whenever she's not doing the other things Whittaker has told her to do. So she's continuing this isolationist sort of vibe of work and then sleep and then get up and work and then sleep. But I think that she's not necessarily doing it with oh, I'm going to become an agent in this T-minus so many days. She's just I might become an agent, but regardless, it is good that I am preparing myself. How many days has it been since the house elf?
3.
Okay.
3 or 4.
I think that she has since then at least invited Felicity out to the movies, Felicity and Damien. I would like it to be known, because I just made it clear that she's a very big isolationist, vibing person. I don't think she's really doing that completely, because it's Bethany and she got a vibe with her friends. I think she, Damien, and Felicity have made a bro-ship that is notable, and I think she's invited them and probably everybody, but mostly just them, to the movies if there was a Friday since then. If not, I just want that to be in the records. She is socializing.
What's the name of the $2 cinema in Autumn Falls that you went to?
It
And
needs to be something that has to do with a bargain, because it's definitely the cheap theater.
Could be, or it could be the old-timey
Yeah.
theater that they then converted into a movie theater. And it was
Oh, Autumn Falls definitely has a tiny vintage
that's what I'm
theater
saying.
where it's just random chairs and
Mhm.
not movie theater seats.
Yep.
It's like you go there on dates, but you can't do the thing in like movie theater seats where you can like put your arm around them. You just like kind of like awkwardly try to like scoot towards them.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh,
just a
man.
random assortment of chairs. They have like baked goods. Yeah, it's totally a thing in Autumn Falls.
I don't know what it's
We'll have to
called,
come
though.
up with a name.
It's probably like the Rouge and Coin, and it was like an old gambling parlor that then they converted into a vaudeville stage and then converted into a cinema. It's been like,
And
you know,
the coin fell off the sign, so it just says the Rouge.
Yeah,
It
like
seems
love
like it's a
that.
strip
That's
club, but it's
great.
like not a strip club. Like people go in
But
and
it
that's
totally used to
the
be.
theater.
There's a stage, but they don't use the stage. They just hung up a screen on the stage, and that's where the movies are. But all the theater seats were taken out, and it's just a random assortment of chairs. But it's cheap. They have specials on weekends, and it's kind of the older movies that aren't really circulating anymore.
I love that. And Raven, what have you been up to since your recent venture into folk politics?
Raven definitely slept for like 18 hours after that adventure. And then she woke up and immediately texted Bethany and was like, hey, this is awkward, but I think I left my work clothes at your house when Aidan had me change. Do you want these clothes back, by the way? I think some of these are your sister's. Do you want to just leave my stuff on the porch? I can totally come by and just like pick it up. It's cool. Means to send a quick text. It turns into
Like
like
a
a
paragraph.
rambling paragraph of like half asleep.
Yeah.
Like whatever's easiest for you, just like leave them outside. I'll go. I don't want to inconvenience you. Just huge rambling mess.
12
Sends
texts in
it.
a row.
She gets that text. Bethany sends back the side-eye emoji, and she's like, you want to come over and grab them? Like, that's fine. You know, live your life. She goes searching for them so that it's not like this super awkward encounter.
Well, she was hoping to keep it as short and not awkward as possible, but knowing Bethany, it's
It's going to be drawn out and awkward.
going to be awkward and complicated. She was hoping to just like pick her stuff up off the porch, but she's probably going to have to go inside and talk to her.
Oh, what a pain, right?
She's like secretly not that mad about it. That's why she texted her. I don't think Raven really has much else. If given the invitation to go to the movies, Raven would definitely go. I think she'd pretend to be a little begrudging about it, but would secretly be excited to be invited to go to the movies.
I do really like the exchange of Bethany texting Raven, hey, we're all going to the movies. And Raven's like, I'm not the biggest fan of that movie. I have taste. You don't have to come. And then Raven's like, I guess I'll make
It's fine, I'll go. What time? I'll be there.
Yeah, all right.
And is like secretly excited to be invited to things.
I think movie trip has happened. It's like a couple days after that.
Yeah, we don't have to role play it. But Raven, if given the invitation, she went. Raven also has beginning of mystery stuff, but it's not like pressing stuff.
What are
which is
you
why I was
able
just
to
kinda
ask about?
Yeah, it's connect the dots, and since we're not really in it right now, I'm just gonna see how many I get to hold for this session.
Yeah, perfect.
So we will find out. That is a 13. So
Wow.
I get to hold 3. I don't think I can really ask any of them right now. So I would just hold those 3
All right.
until it feels relevant, and I will ask them.
Just remember you have questions you can ask. I will say that in the middle of your texting back and forth with Bethany, your phone rings and it's Aidan.
She lets it ring a couple of times as to not seem desperate, like she has her phone in her hand. She just kind of stares at it, lets it ring a few times. Hello?
Hi, Raven. I was going to see if Felicity wanted to do magic today. I thought maybe you'd be interested.
Yeah, sure. What,
okay.
Like just magic practice?
Well, I don't know what you've been trying. Felicity I can't get her to stop. So I want her to do it safely, and I feel like maybe some supervision will help.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, I'll come. Should I bring anything? I don't know why I feel like I should bring like a fire extinguisher or something just in case. Maybe that's just completely random. I don't know.
I have no idea how to predict. I was going to go like out into the woods. Like we'll take one of the trails and just go somewhere as far away from other people as possible. Within reason. Like we don't have to camp out or anything, but just.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Where do you
good.
want to
So
meet?
Well, if you're not
Felicity
busy,
said?
we'll go
Oh, I'll
get
pick
it.
you up.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Sounds good. What time?
I have nothing else going on today.
Yeah, me either. I just woke up.
Okay, yeah. See you soon.
All right, cool. See you in like an hour.
Bethany, Aidan immediately calls you after that.
Yeah, figures. What's up?
Hi, Bethany. So I was going to get together with Raven and Felicity today to do some magic. I didn't want you to feel left out, so do you want to just come and hang with us for today?
You invited me simply because you didn't want me to feel left out?
Well, do you also do magic? I haven't seen that happen yet.
Does Raven do that?
A little.
I got some plans today. Got a pretty full schedule. But thank you for the invite. I'm okay. I'll keep my non-magic hands out of you guys doing your special magic things. And I will instead do all of my very special non-magic things.
I don't want you to feel bad. It's not
I know. I like the sentiment. I'm going to do some really cool things that non-magic people do. Like I'm going to sleep and I'm going to feel so good after sleeping. And I'm going to eat a lot of popcorn and feel very sick and bloated. And I think that's what my day is going to look like. But I appreciate it. Send videos and please don't let Felicity go to the hospital.
Okay. Have fun with popcorn. And she hangs up.
Raven definitely grabs like a hiking backpack, like one of the big sturdy ones, and like grabs the fire extinguisher out of her family's kitchen, puts it in, and grabs like the first aid kit from the bathroom and puts that in, like a couple water bottles and some granola bars, or like anything else she could think of that could possibly help them be safer.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you bring your magic equipment?
Does Raven have magic equipment?
You have a spell book and a tarot deck that Granny Jones gave you.
Right, I forgot who had the spell book. I guess that's in my possession, yeah. She definitely puts the spell book in the backpack, and I feel like she starts to walk out of her room, and then she turns around and like grabs the tarot cards and is like, meh, who knows? And like throws them in the backpack too.
Whittaker, you wake up and Damien's not there, which is kind of odd. Your routine has become get up, go to do your thing, but also at the same time hand a thing over to Damien. It's become so like clockwork at this point. And so you go and you hand something and it just drops to the floor and you're like, whoa! And that's like the first time you notice he's not there.
Huh. Thought it was quiet in here. Does he bring the burner phones with him?
Damien would have left a burner phone for you. He'd be trying to...
it was more like, does Damien bring a phone with him?
Yes, Damien has a phone, yeah.
Whittaker goes to send him a text and then says, oh, it's been such a quiet morning, maybe I'll just... And I think for now he's going to make himself an espresso and type up a quick report of what Felicity told him last night so he can follow up on that as soon as possible.
Whittaker relishes in the peace and tranquility of a empty camper. You already have a couple emails from the agency. One is an email from Ernie in Tactical.
Ernie in Tactical.
An hour after you were like called into the field, the timestamp on the email, you do in your mind, you do the math, and you're like, he sent me this after I had already been thrown through the floor of a barn. And it's just like the most basic bit of information about lichens and shifters and things like that.
Gee, thanks, Ernie. Real team player, aren't you?
You get the feeling that Tactical needs some top-down management restructuring. You also have an email, and this one is a reply to an email you don't remember sending because Damien sent it, and it's photos of those eggs, the shells that you turned in. It's a message from Vines, and she is saying, interesting texture on those. I'd love to take a closer look. If you can bring them by next time you're in the city, let me know.
Yeah. He'll type up an email. Actually, he looks at the email that Damien sent to make sure it sounded professional.
What did it say, Damien?
It was probably as short and brief as possible. Just attach the pictures found at recent scene. Like, that's it.
Nice. Yeah, no, he types a response, says, sorry, very tired last night. I'll bring them by in.
They're on the
I'll bring them by
counter.
as soon as I can, and might be bringing friends to send. Yeah, I guess that's all for now.
Cool. A little time has passed, and I think we discussed that you have like a fence around your yard.
Yeah, a small fence.
What kind of bird are you, Damien?
A raven.
A raven lands on the post of one of the corners of the fence. How do you conceal your shifting from creature to person when you're out and about?
He jumps into like a bush, then shifts. So like an animal or a person will jump into the bush. It'll shake a bit and then come out on the other side.
And then Damien rolls out. So Damien just kind of rolls out of the hedges in your yard.
Damien!
Excellent, Felicity. It's so good to see you.
So good to see you too.
Lovely place.
Thank you. My little house people, they're fixing the stones.
Oh yeah, very nice.
They're doing such a good job, aren't they?
At this point, they're like done with the bricks, and you see just a couple of them on a tiny wooden ladder, and they're snipping dead leaves and dead flower heads off of Miss Starnbrook's rose bushes to like keep the plant healthy.
They're doing such a good job.
Wow. Yeah, I've got to get a group of these guys. Well, I've got to get a place first, and then I got to get a group of these guys. I'm glad this is working out. I was worried they were going to be problematic.
They've been great. They've been very friendly.
They've done what house elves do. They have made themselves unnoticed, except for you, who is like always watching for that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. So, Director Damien, we have a case.
We do. We have to learn as much as we can about this man, boar, pig. I'm sure they have a database file somewhere in the Eastie Agency where they have this type of thing documented and officially named.
Yeah. So, how do we be an agency? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how few books there are on the subject. So it's my understanding that you just have a lot of money and you just do whatever you want.
So
and the agency is just a structure for it.
Out of those two things on your checklist, we officially have 0. So
We're just a small agency. That's fine.
Okay, that's fair. But
I assume the East Agency didn't start off with $1 billion. They had to start off with like just a couple guys and $1, you know?
And that's us, just a couple guys, $1 and some house elves.
When you say that, Ghosty pecks your knee. And
these guys too.
Stands up. Yeah,
and
it's like
some
extra secret agents.
Question. Have Aidan and Raven told me they're coming over?
It's still early. I was going to let you and Damien just
okay.
talk for a little before she called you.
So that has not happened yet. Beautiful.
Yeah, she will be calling you momentarily.
So we're definitely an agency. I'm going to be honest with you. Don't really know what that means.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about it being our agency is that we get to define whatever that means, you know, and if someone's like, hey, that's a rule, we say, not one of ours.
Oh, okay. That makes a little bit of sense. I guess I'm just, I joined this very quickly, and I don't exactly know what I'm supposed to do. I think I've been doing a little bit of an okay job.
Oh, you've been great. You did more research than the East Agency gave us on that boar at the time. So that was huge.
We're already better than the East Agency. Look at us go.
Yeah, high five. So, yeah, no, I wouldn't worry about it. Our current goal, our current mission is to figure out what this man boar is up to and try to stop him if he's carrying something that needs to be rescued, rescue it, or steal it, or return it. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to need to go south past a gas station and try to figure out if we have any more information on the eggshells.
That sounds good.
Maybe try to focus your visions.
So here is my last question. So me and you are an agency. I forget what our name was, but we're most definitely an agency.
Yes, I really need to be a director of
That's
an
fine.
agency.
You can be a director. Now, here is my last question. The only issue that I have is that Agent Whittaker and Raven and all of them, they are not a part of our agency. And this seems like a pretty secret agency. You know what I mean? Having to do with monsters and all of this weird stuff going on. So, like, do we tell them about our agency or do we try to recruit them into our agency? If they're not in our agency, do we tell them the things that our agency is doing?
I think that there are certain things that we can keep just between the two of us. But for the most part, I see everyone in our group of associates as friends and trustworthy. I'd only withhold information from them if it was in their best interest. But I don't see the need to maintain a super secret level. But I do want to maybe, I guess, keep it secret from the Eastie Agency because they want me to be an agent, and if they come up hearing about how I'm a director now, then they might get a little jealous.
Ah, okay.
Otherwise, it'll be a nice fake calling card to use whenever we need to pretend to have clout.
We don't have to pretend. We are an agency.
Oh, exactly. Whenever our clout isn't undercover.
Ah ha ha. Ah ha ha ha. I see.
So, I think we should get the group together to do some research on this man-board pig, and I will continue my quest to gain more agents. So yes, if anyone wants to be recruited, we don't have as many agents as the Eastie Agency, so I do wish to hire people as soon as financing becomes more available.
Sounds good. That sounds like a very good plan. I'm glad I don't have to keep a lot of secrets from my friends because let me tell you something, probably would not have been able to do that. I'm about to just tell you right up front, secrets are bad and I don't keep them well. So.
And I appreciate your honesty, and I will do as good a job to be the best director I can be. So whenever you need, resources or anything, and he reaches into his briefcase and there's candy, matches, a magnifying glass, just odds and ends, pens, paper, just if you need things, I have a lot of stuff on me, so just shout.
At this point, Felicity, your phone rings. Aidan is calling you.
Hello?
Hi, Felicity. Are you free today?
She's gonna cover the speaker on the phone. Damien, it's Aidan. She wants to know if I'm free today.
Aidan, yay! Oh, yeah, tell her you're free.
We're free. Should I tell her that you're here?
Is that Damien?
No. Yes.
Hi, Aidan.
Hi. Remember we talked about doing some practice with your magic?
Oh, yeah. I actually was about to bring that up with Damien. I was going to see if he wanted to maybe practice with me a little bit.
I was going to see with you guys if you wanted to practice some magic.
Please wait until I get there to practice magic.
Aidan, I'm going to tell you something. I make no promises.
Okay, well, I don't know what to do with that. I guess we'll be over soon. Raven's coming. That's okay, right?
That's fine.
All right. Don't do magic until we get there. All right, bye. She hangs up.
So she said something about doing magic before she gets here, right?
Yep, that was a portion of what she had said, and that is what I will be listening to.
Perfect. What should we do?
I can try to... You want me to do magic to you?
Yeah.
Let's see. Do some jumpin' jacks.
Damien is gonna do some jumpin' jacks.
Felicity is gonna try to make him freeze.
Okay.
Do it.
Roll to use magic.
Don't worry, Damien. I have a +3. We're good. 11.
So
Solid.
you just want me to do some jumping
All right, yeah. Felicity, you extend your power, and the wind slows to being inaudible, and Damien is mid-air with his hands coming together and just slowly clapping. And very slowly bringing them back down as he kind of drifts to the ground.
Now, is this one of those? I know you had in one of my use magics that I had done before with Ghosty, I could move at a regular speed, and then the other person moved at like the slow speed.
Yep.
Is that the same thing as like what's happening now?
Same effect.
Beautiful.
You've done the same thing.
I am going to move his arms around a little bit to like make them in a different position than when he started. And then maybe put a little leaf hat on him.
Okay.
So when he unfreezes, he's in a different position.
It's like one arm's out in front, one arm's out behind.
Yeah.
I think when you go to move his arm, it does move, but not the way a person's arm should move. Because, like, technically you are moving very fast compared to him, comparatively. And so you, like, go to move his arm from jumping jack position to, like, forward, and it just kind of bends. It doesn't rotate in the socket because you just pull it down and it pulls down, right? There's no snap because he doesn't have bones, but like you see a little bit of his arm is like now stretching, like pulled taffy at the point where you pulled on it. What else do you do to keep messing him up, I guess?
I will take a rock and put it underneath him so he lands on the rock when he lands.
Okay.
And that's gonna be about it. That's all I'll do.
So you release the magic. Damien, you're up in the air, and before you can like finish the first jumping
jacks.
Yeah.
my
and your arm is kind of wobbly, and there's a little leaf on your head, and
you just wow, well done. I didn't even see you do that. Let me just get my arm back, and oh, the hat. Wow, that was awesome.
Magic.
Are you okay? Is your nose bloody like before?
Oh no, I did it good this time. I've been
Nice.
talking to the tree a little bit.
you do notice, Damien, her hair is standing on end. More so than usual.
Your hair's a little up. I don't know if you want
it gets
like a
fluffy
comb or
sometimes.
brush.
I'm just gonna try to. Oh, you have a brush? You know, brushes in my hair, it just makes it not good. So.
I just have a lot of things on me.
When you go to like shake your hair out, Felicity, you get a little static shock from yourself.
I'm zappy today.
Tom, out of your hair. Like he was in there the whole time getting zapped, and it's just like, ugh.
Oh, sorry, Tom. So, Damien, are we gonna tell Aidan about that cool thing I just did?
No, we want to look good.
That's true. Okay.
Appearances are important, and lying is fine.
I got. Oh, okay. Maybe.
I mean, you don't want to get caught in a lie. That's not good. No one likes you if you do that.
I just 100% know that I would get caught in a lie. So maybe I don't say anything.
No, that's too hard. We'll just be upfront about it.
So
we're honest, and honesty makes us look good.
Honesty is the best policy. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
Dope. Okay.
Aiden's one of those angel types. She'll be all over that. This is perfect.
Yeah, I think she'll really love that. Hey, you want to go talk to my tree grandma until Aidan gets here?
I would love to meet your tree.
I'm gonna bring him over to the tree and talk to the tree until Aidan gets here.
Do I shake the branch, or is it like we bow?
Felicity, you come over, you sit on your swing, which is attached to the one of the boughs of this big old tree.
Yeah, Damien's gonna bow to the tree.
Okay. You bow. It's a tree, Damien. You have some interactions with spirits, but you don't quite connect with them the way Felicity does. So, Felicity, you hear as an acorn drops into your cupped hands as you sit on the swing. Good morning, Felicity.
Good morning, Grandma Tree.
I see you're practicing.
Yeah, did you see that? There's an angel coming over, and she's going to help me practice a little bit more, too. Like a real-life angel. I have a lot of weird friends now.
You certainly do. I wonder... What is drawing them all to you?
I'm dope. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, sorry.
Hey, Felicity, would your grandma tree? I know like trees like fertilizer. Do you want like me to bring dead animals around the tree to help her grow more?
Tree, did
and-
you hear that?
Damien, 5 acorns come and like hit you in the face.
I'm gonna take that as a no.
Okay, this is why we ask.
I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought you were gonna suggest pooping on it. And that is probably a bigger no. But dead animals, still a no. I think it's pretty well fertilized. Grandma tree, well fertilized.
She doesn't respond right away, but you eventually hear, she says, "Keep the fallen away from my roots."
Oh, she doesn't like dead. She doesn't like dead.
Damien will take 2 steps backwards.
Well, you don't hear it, Damien.
Oh, okay.
You haven't heard anything the tree has said. It's all just what Felicity's hearing. She has this connection to this tree.
Oh wait, you mean Damien? That's my. He's good. He's my friend.
Remains to be seen.
He's my boss now, I guess. Hey, Tree, can you clue me out on a little secret? Is Damien good? Because you seem a little hesitant.
When you are as old as I am, you see the world through a different lens. And that's all she gives you. And at that point, another couple acorns plop into your hand, and she doesn't respond to any more questions when you try and talk to her again.
Thank you for the acorns. They're going to go right on my shelf, just with like all the other ones.
There's hundreds.
Yeah, I have so many acorns from this tree. I feel bad throwing any of them away.
Well, I mean, Tom and Ghosty snack on them, so they do get eaten eventually.
Thank you, Grandmother Tree. I'm going to take the acorns, and he scoops them up off the ground, and I'm going to put them on Whittaker's shelf.
Good, that's good. I like that. Tree doesn't like you very much. But don't take that to heart. It's just because you're a demon. As some may say, it's not your personality. It's just who you are as a person. Bringing it back.
I understand completely. Demons are evil, and humans can just be evil from time to time.
I don't think that you're evil, though.
Mm.
Do you think that you're evil?
I'm a victim of my environment, and I'm not going to get a good environment. So, and I'm a demon. I have no qualms about killing. I just see a lot of people making friends, so I want to make friends, you know?
Yeah, but I feel like you are killing the right things, you know? Like, I don't think you would ever kill the things that you shouldn't kill.
Damien, when she says that, you recall the shop owner of the music store from years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, like, accidents happen.
But those are accidents.
Yeah, but also, like, a circle of life. You know, you guys kill animals to live, so a human might have died every now and then. You know, that it kind of happens. You can't let yourself get broken up about it. You just take their stuff and move on.
I mean, you kind of can a little bit. Are they good people?
I don't... It's a really deep question. I mean,
Tree brought it up. I don't know what to tell you.
Felicity, as you're sitting there in their backyard on your rope swing, contemplating the meaning of good and evil, your mom comes out on the back porch. Felicity, some people just pulled into the... you already have company. So is that more of your friends pulling in?
Yeah, can you even imagine that, right? Like, more than one, Mom! More than one!
And she kind of like, her hand goes to her heart for a second, and she's like, "I'm so happy for you, honey. I'll go let them in."
Thank you.
So, Raven, you and Aidan have arrived. I don't imagine there was a lot said in the car ride over, other than maybe reacting once Aidan called Felicity. When you guys go to like the front door to ring the bell, Felicity, what does your mom look like? I don't know that we ever nailed that down.
Felicity, she definitely takes after what her father looked like. So her mother looks completely different. And, her mom kind of doesn't like that she looks like her dad, but obviously she's her kid, so she's not going to really hold that over her too much.
Right.
But Felicity's mom has a 70s, feathered brown bob with, those feathered bangs. She dresses very earthy, very flowy. I wouldn't say hippie. That's not exactly. It's just a lot of earth tones, kind of witchy in a way. She is small and soft-spoken, which is interesting for being Felicity's mom. But yeah, that's her mom. She also wears a lot of jewelry. She has tons of necklaces that she wears all at once. They're just layered upon layers of weird stones. And so Felicity definitely gets her love for the outdoors and her love for collecting little things from her mom. She has a ton of little things.
This woman opens the door and she says, "Hi, I'm Felicity's mom. I'm Angela. Welcome. She's out and back with another friend."
Thank you. I'm Raven, Eugenia. I work over at the Maple Leaf. We've probably met before.
I do recognize you now. Yes.
And she reaches out to shake her hand.
And Aidan, when she got out of the car, Raven looks very uncomfortable here. And is kind of standing behind you on the steps. She's not eager to go, despite being eager to find Felicity and make sure that she and Damien aren't getting into trouble. So she's in this sort of hot and cold mental state where she almost isn't even paying attention when Angela introduces herself, and she awkwardly is like, "Oh, yeah, I'm Aidan. Nice to meet you. Sorry." And she doesn't offer her hand or anything. She's strangely more awkward than you've seen her in knowing her. And Felicity's mom is like, "Okay, dear, she's in back. You can head right through the kitchen." So Aidan follows you, Raven, as you find your way through the house. And yeah, there are little knickknacks and a lot of carved wooden animals and paintings of trees and forests and lakes and things. The Starnbrook household, rather the Clifford household, because Felicity's dad is not here and Angela changed her name back, has leaned into the aspen decor a little
There are lots
hard.
of plants.
So many plants.
So many plants of all different
many
sorts.
plants.
Yeah, vines and succulents and window plants and hanging plants and yeah. But you head out into the backyard. Felicity and Damien are sitting near the tree. And Aidan rushes past you at that point and runs over to Felicity. "Are you ready to go?"
Yeah, I already did something pretty dope. You missed it.
It was pretty cool.
Okay, well, let's...
Do you want to do it again?
No, let's hold off on that until we go somewhere private, more private, right? I was thinking we'd take a hike.
To the woods!
Do we want to get Hugo here? He does magic.
Oh, I forgot to ask him this morning.
Just port back.
You're right there. You know what? If Aidan didn't mention it, Raven assumed Aidan invited him and he couldn't, or said he didn't want to go.
Yeah, no, she totally
If it wasn't mentioned, she just assumed that it was already taken care of and that he couldn't. And now Raven feels really bad.
Yeah, so she takes her phone out. All right, I'm going to call him. So Hugo, you get a
We are
call.
excluding Agent Whittaker because he's a stick in the mud.
So Hugo, you get a call. It's pushing towards midday. It's 10:30 or so.
Hello?
Hi, Hugo. How did your night to think about it go?
Interestingly enough, are we just helping Felicity?
Well, Raven is coming here, and Damien showed up. I know it's
Raven's
not
gonna
the
lean over and be like, "Hi, Hugo."
Yeah, she's
Hey, Raven.
and Aidan kind of
Felicity.
tries to cover the speaker, so it's less obvious that she's now here with a crowd. She's just I know I said crowds and things are not your thing, but it just happened.
What about Whittaker and Bethany?
Bethany didn't want to come. That could be my fault. I'm bad at inviting people to things, and I didn't figure Whittaker was the magical type who would want to.
Felicity's gonna lean over and go, "Whittaker's a buzzkill."
I figured he would be busy with following up on last night. And
Yeah,
Raven,
he's got paperwork. He
this
needs
is
his
the
beauty
first you're
sleep.
hearing of last night.
Oh, the pig man.
Did Felicity just talk about the pig man?
Yes? Wait, how do you know about the pig man?
How do I know about anything?
It's the pig man.
I love this.
Well, we fought a man-boar pig.
He attacked a gas station attendant. He's okay, though.
That's good. Were you guys all there?
Sparkled. I wasn't. I was sleeping.
It was a secret agent mission.
That checks out.
I never sleep. It was...
That also checks out.
Hugo was up, so we headed over. It wasn't a big deal or anything. I mean, he got away anyway, so it's agency stuff now.
My back says it was kind of a big deal.
It's just like, if you come over, I can do something about that. And she says, we're going to head up to the cold trail if you want to meet us there.
I'll be there in like an hour or so.
Oh, yeah, take your time.
Bye,
Bye,
no,
Hugo.
get him here faster. Aiden, just use your wings.
She closed the phone. She's like, Damien, you cannot. Her mom is in the house.
It wasn't yelling.
Oh, my mom's chill. Don't worry.
Oh, at this point, Hugo's going to actually take out his phone and send a text
Okay.
to Bethany. One of essentially the only texts he's ever sent her, saying something along the lines of, if you're going to be involved with these people, you need to learn to protect yourself.
I think Bethany texts back, I'm perfectly capable, with a full stop.
And then he sends one more text. We'll see.
Some cold text being sent from both of them. Aidan is eager to leave the Starnbrook house. And
Hey, Aidan.
yeah. Yes.
My mom, she is so cool with everything. She's fine. She thinks that I'm just crazy. Watch. Mom!
And she comes out. She's got like a pitcher that's full of some powdered colored drink and some cups. And I made you some. Yes? What?
Can you also get a cup for Ghosty and Tom, please?
I already brought them.
Oh, thank you. See? She's cool.
If you all look at the tray, there are like plastic disposable cups. You know those cups you get with like medicine as a kid? It's like 2 of those little plastic cups are like also on the tray.
Thanks, Mom.
No problem, honey. And she, sets it down. It's just powder, but if you're thirsty, then she goes back in the house.
See? She's fine. She's chill.
Has she seen your spirits?
See, that I don't know. It's been like my whole life where I'm really not sure if my mom just thinks that I'm crazy, and kind of goes along with it so that I don't feel bad about myself, or if she actually sees them. I haven't really had, I kind of am like, Mom, do you really see them? And she's like, yeah. And I don't know if that's like a real yeah or like a fake yeah. I don't know. She goes along with it, though.
Okay, well, just in case she hasn't, I don't think we should start casting spells in your backyard.
Fair. Yeah. I see where you're going. I also would enjoy a hike. Let's go!
So you all have like a quick drink and then head out. How many people do we have now? 4, just 4. So you'll all fit in Raven's car. And you guys drive over to, it's called Cold Trail. It's just because there's a stream that is part of the hike that runs from like the ice water on the mountains, and it's very cold all year. And so I don't know how much you guys want to roleplay of the hike.
I imagine they're not going far, right? It's just like till they hit like a clearing.
Right, yeah. When you get to the spot, it's not one of those fire pit areas. It's sort of a break in the forest area of the trail, and it's more of a field with some big rocks and things. Mm-hmm. At that point, Aidan says, all right, this is good. This is fine. It's just like a big exhale now that you're finally out in the middle of nowhere. Let's talk basics. Raven, you've just been doing things from that book?
Yeah, so far that I know of. I mean, there was a little bit of stuff with that salt that Granny Jones gave me, but I don't know if that was all her.
She could have been helping you.
Yeah, I think that was mostly her. Everything else so far has been from the book.
Okay. And
And she just like tries to be subtle, but takes the fire extinguisher out of her backpack and puts it next to the backpack.
all right. So she looks at Felicity and she says, "What have you done so far with your magic?"
Let's see. I do a lot of freezing things, but like not like freezing like ice. It's like freezing like time. Like they just stop. Sometimes they freeze in space and everything else still going along around them. Sometimes everything slows down and I can move things around. That's basically what I've done so far.
Okay. Let's just have you try a few things. And she'll pick up a rock. I'm going to throw this. And then you'll use some magic on it.
Yep. And stop it in the air.
Whatever you want to do with it. And so she'll do a pitch up in the air. It goes, a ways.
A second rock gets launched in the air shortly after that.
Yeah. So Felicity, I would like you to use magic.
13. I got a +3 for magic.
You do, and you also seem to roll exceptionally well.
Yeah.
What happens? Do you freeze the rock? Do you do something else?
So how high up in the air is the rock?
15 feet?
So I can't like jump up and grab it?
No, she just kind of like lobbed it up in the air.
Okay.
You probably could with magic. You
That's
jump as high as
true.
you want with magic.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? Do one thing that is beyond human limitations.
Well, see, what I wanted to do was like have it do the like whole world slows down, and then I grab it out of the air and just hold it in front of her and be like, see, I got it. You know what I mean?
Oh, like she threw it, but then you're holding it kind of thing?
Yeah.
Well, if you want to have that rock in your hand, Felicity, and that's like the magic you try to tap into, I will say this. You're like, oh, it'd be so cool if I could catch that rock. And almost instinctually, you crouch a little bit. And rather than the world slowing down, the rocks around your feet and the dirt there starts to shift and swirl. And Aidan has just enough time to look and turn back to you to be like, are you gonna? And you leap into the air, almost propelled by this force. And you grab that rock out of the air and then land. And as you land, you make a little groove in the earth and kick up some sod and things. And again, your hair crackling with energy.
Ta-da! Don't know how I did that. That's never happened before. I just thought, it would be dope if I caught that rock and then the earth flung me. So, like, cool.
Aidan looks at you like, okay. She turns over to you, Raven, and she says, I'm going to be doing this a while if you want to just try some things or ask a question when you need help. And so she goes over to join you, Felicity, a little further into the field where you went. She will pick up a rock or throw it, or she'll point at something and be like, try something over there. So if you want to roll like a series of use magic rolls, we can rapid fire go through a few of the things you're over there doing.
Okay, we got use magic 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. That is with a glitch, right?
Yep.
Do I choose the glitch?
Yeah, you choose the effect and your glitch, and then I decide what effect the glitch has.
Oh god.
I'll say for this, she like points at a tree that is clearly dead, but is still like upright. Some mold or fungus killed the roots, and so it's just like a standing structure in the field with no foliage on it.
And she just says, do something to that?
Yep.
I feel like the only really thing that would make sense for any of these situations would be do one thing that is beyond human limitation.
I think what I need from you is like, what does Felicity think about doing?
What is Felicity? She wants to climb it. If it's a tree.
Interesting.
She would like to climb it and sit on the branch that she's talking about.
Okay, yeah. You go over and you think to yourself, I want to climb this. And you just start to climb it. And you're not thinking like, oh, this is easy or this is hard. You're just like, I'm going to do this thing. And what happens is you do climb the tree, but you're grabbing loosely at it and not really climbing in the most expert way. And Aidan, who is next to the tree, she like comes over. Aidan takes a step into like this area around the tree and trips and almost does a backflip, but is turned over and begins to rise into the air. And little sticks and rocks and like things from the area around this tree are rising into the air.
Yeah, I make like a zero gravity tree.
And you don't notice this at first. You just get to the top of this dead tree and pirate pose off the top like, haha, I did it! And you just see Aidan revolving, and as her head like comes around and looks at you, she's white as a sheet. She's like, what did you... Whoa! And throws her wings out and flies up to join you. She's just flapping to keep herself aloft and at your height, and she's like, Are you trying to do these things?
No, I just think I want to climb that tree, and then I make it happen somehow, I guess. Gravity.
All right.
We got time. We got earth trampolines, and we got gravity.
She breaks off a stick and she flies away with it and calls out to you, all right, try and target this, and throws the stick up in the air.
All right, this one, I guess Felicity is just going to make it freeze in the air. A 6 plus 3 is 9.
What's your glitch?
The effect is of a short duration.
You catch that stick in the air and it does slow down and freezes. But as you are focusing on it, you're kind of like, I did it! And energy kind of ripples through your hand and out towards the stick because you're too far away to like go grab it without doing some other type of magic thing. Mm-hmm. But this energy flies towards that stick and it almost warps like someone used like a Photoshop tool on it and then bursts into tiny, tiny splinters.
Well, okay. Hey, Damien, glad this didn't happen earlier because I
Aidan,
didn't mean for that.
Yeah, she shields her face with her wing for a second and then flies back over and lands and her wings go away. And she calls up to you. That was interesting.
That was new. I get
Thanks
what
for
you
not
mean.
exploding me.
Anytime, Damien, anytime.
You continue to do these things, and there are moments where your magic does something unexpected that you weren't intending it for it to do. Mm-hmm. But we'll pick up there in a little bit. Raven, come on this nice this nice hiking trip with your friends. What's she doing to practice magic?
She spread out a blanket that she brought, invited Damien to sit on it if he would like.
Okay.
And she's got the tarot cards out, the box of them. And she's like flipping through the spell book, trying to see if there's anything that she could feasibly try, if there's anything like simple that she could try. And I think if she flips through and doesn't find anything, she'll pull out the tarot cards and start like shuffling them.
All right.
Maybe see if we can pull some for Damien.
You find a spell towards the beginning, and it's for making plants grow and encouraging healthy plant growth. So if you want to try that, you can.
Yeah, anything that it doesn't need like super weird materials that she might not have. Anything she can feasibly do.
Yeah, no, the like requirements for this spell say a bit of water and the plant you're trying to encourage, and then some incantations from the book.
Yeah, she'll grab a water bottle and try and find a flower nearby, maybe one that doesn't look like it's doing so well. Get out the book.
Roll magic.
I feel like she's gonna lay on her stomach and stare at it. That's a 6.
You drip the water on it.
Help?
You could, but this is Raven practicing. Damien helping kind of doesn't help her learn. But you say the words, and you've got like the book out. You're kind of just in like picnic mode because like Aidan and Felicity are over in the field making things blow up and floating into the air and stuff.
Yeah, she like pours some water on it. She reads the words, stares at it. Nothing seems to be happening.
Yeah, it's not really clicking with you. After you finish the spell, you look up and the plant just kind of like leans over a little more. It kind of dries up.
She's gonna like snap the book shut and go back to the blanket and go back to flipping. Like none of that happened.
Yeah, it's practice. This is why you practice.
Yeah. It's not like angry. It's just like, ooh, that's embarrassing.
Mhm.
Let's try something else.
All right, yeah. What's something else you want to think of trying?
If there's nothing else that she can feasibly try from the book, I think she wants to try something with the tarot cards. I feel like she's kind of fiddled around with them a little bit, but reading for yourself is very different from reading for someone else. So I think she's going to call over Damien and have him sit across from her and be like, all right, let's just try this, and start
All
like
right.
shuffling them just to...
Okay, I'm ready. What do I do?
You just need to sit there just like you are, and let's see what kind of reading we should do. I guess we'll try and we'll keep it really simple. I'm going to try and pull a card that really resonates with you, something that instead of looking into your past or your future, let's go with like the present, and we'll try and pull one that is for you. So just think really hard about yourself and things that you like your personality.
Think
Okay.
about myself?
Yeah.
Whoa.
She's shuffling, thinking really hard about Damien and all the things that they've done together and
Okay.
that she's seen.
I like that. Damien, is it weird to think about yourself?
Yeah. I almost want to make him roll under pressure for it.
Okay.
Just like, think about yourself. It's like, no, you got to think about what everyone else has at all times. 10. I'm okay.
This is the first moment you two have had as like a Raven and Damien moment.
Yeah, I'm realizing that. This is the first time they've ever hung out, just like the two of them.
Just the two of them. Although there is one other moment where the two of you had a bit of a connection. And Raven, you don't notice this when you drop the book, but when you drop it, it flips open, and the wind, as you're sitting there like shuffling and thinking and like focusing on this deck that Granny Jones gave you, it blows some of the pages of the book, and they and open to the summoning spell.
Ooh.
And Damien, you're sitting there thinking back, think about me. Me. For you, this is also interesting because you haven't done anything with just you and Raven. Oh, wait, she did summon me. Yeah, that was weird. And you'll recall that when you rolled pretty poorly on your resurrection roll, and something was going to come with you. So, Raven, you go and you set the deck down, and you pull the first card and flip it onto the mat. And when you do, it is... Remember how I described the deck where it's like a bunch of North American animals and scenery and that sort of thing? What you pull up is it's the rabbit card. It depicts a rabbit with some pine cones and twigs and things, and it's just sitting in a copse of grass with a tree behind it, and also on the ground is a deer skull with some antlers coming up from it, and a couple of arrows that are like down into the ground nearby. And when you throw that card down, you don't even have time to read which of the cards in the deck it is, but the book lights up and the blanket that you're on ruffles. And Damien, you open your eyes and you see Raven there, and her hair is whipping as this wind starts to just come from the card. And Felicity, you and Aidan also look over, and wind blows the whole blanket and you guys over. Aidan's like, Raven! And like flies over. They arrive as the dust is clearing, and the one card, you went out and reached to grab it, Raven. So it's in your hand. And it's also glowing a little bit. And on the ground where it had been placed down under the blanket, the dirt rumbles for a second, and this little creature burrows its way out of the ground and is there before you. It is rabbit-like. It has a rabbit's or a hare's physiology with the long footed back legs and the more thin and smaller front legs. But those front legs seem to have the furriness of them slims right at the paws, and it almost looks like raccoon hands. Its head, while rabbit-like, and it has big upright ears, and then on its face is this polished dark walnutty wood mask with two little holes cut out that just seem to be pools of darkness behind them, kind of like Ghosty's skull. And also on its head, poking forward, are a pair of deer antlers. And all along its back are little quills, like a mix between like a hedgehog and a porcupine. And it like looks around, looks at you, and then slowly pads over to you. It's a really like unnerving. Like beyond the fact that you summoned this thing, it doesn't have a face. It doesn't have an animal face. It's just this like wooden mask without any features except the two blank eyes.
Raven is like scrambling backwards as soon as it starts coming near her.
Yeah.
Felicity's gonna be like,
terrified.
aww.
Aidan like throws an arm out to like, stop you from going anywhere, Felicity. Hold on. And the thing continues to like comes over to you, Raven, like looks at you up and down, and then just sits back on its hind legs and like looks at you.
I imagine she like fell backwards and was like scrambling backwards on the ground. And when it stops, she's gonna sit up a little bit and then reach her hand towards it a little bit in that like, are you friendly? And like if it makes any aggressive move, she's gonna try and pull back, but like very slowly and carefully reaching her hand out towards it.
It kind of hop and then stands up and goes over and shakes your hand with its little raccoon paw.
Raven just kind of white face, blank stare, lets it shake her hand a little bit. Completely awestruck, just like, okay, this is happening. You guys see this, right? Oh my god.
Yeah, Aidan is just sort of like, what did you do? What spell did you cast?
I didn't cast anything. I tried to do something for the book with plants and it didn't work, and so I just put it aside and I just pulled the tarot card. I didn't think I was doing any magic. I was trying not to do magic. It was just tarot cards. We were just waiting for you guys to finish up.
Yep.
We were just trying to do normal things. I put the book down. It was closed.
You look over, the book is open. There is a leaf marking the page that it had flipped open to. And it's the summoning one.
Oh, I heard the pages shuffle. I thought the wind just blew it open. Was that on purpose? Was that just an accident? What did we
When you
do?
say,
Oh my God.
I thought the wind did something, the little rabbit creature tilts their head and then turns its head back, scanning the sky, and it goes back down onto all fours and crouches a little bit, and then darts and is like hopping through the air and hop, gets up into the branches of a tree. Once it's up there, stands back onto its hind legs, more like in a bipedal position, and is now scanning the field.
Guys, what is that?
Hello,
It's
rabbit
my
friend.
friend Felicity. Shh.
And
I don't know what that is. Where it came from.
it doesn't seem dangerous. You see this little creature shrugs, runs down the side of the tree, this time without hopping through the air, and then comes back over and sits next to you, Raven.
Is it a spirit? Like, can I tell?
It does seem to have the same sort of spirit physiology in that it's all mixed up animals.
But I touched it. I shook its little paw. So it's not spirity in the way that it's like see-through.
Yeah.
It's like Ghosty and Tom.
Yeah.
And speaking of them, they hop off Felicity's shoulder, walk over, and at first the thing regards them and it gets defensive. It grabs the tip of one of its antlers and like pulls a string from it somehow down and then steps on it with its big rabbity foot, plucks a quill from its back and pulls that string back like a bow and arrow and points it at Ghosty and Tom.
Whoa,
and they're
whoa,
like,
whoa,
and they're
whoa,
like,
whoa.
whoa, 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 whoa. They put their hands up and it like regards them for a second, tilts its head, and then lets go of the string. It snaps back into the antler, which you now see has little decorations hanging from the tines of the antlers, and it like sticks the quill back in its fur and pads over to them, and they sniff at each other. They seem to be getting along okay now.
So I don't think we've ever really established this, but with my ability, the sight, I can communicate with spirits and they can understand me and I can understand them. But I don't think we've ever really established if the spirits can actually speak or if I could just understand them based on like their actions.
Some spirits can speak and some cannot. If you are like me and have binged Legend of Korra or Avatar The Last Airbender in the
Yes.
last month or so, it's like that. Some
Okay.
spirits talk and some don't, and it just depends on the ones. But
Okay. So I
yeah.
will try approaching this spirit
Okay.
and I will say, hello, can you speak?
It looks at you and its little like raccoon paws go and feel at its face, and it feels that wooden mask with just the eyes and there's no mouth, and it just shrugs.
Oh, that's right, you don't have a mouth. I was wondering if there was something underneath there. So that's just like your head?
It scratches the back of its head a little bit, and its ears twitch, and it tap, 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 like the wooden part. It's got that like echoey woodblock sound.
That's cool. Do you know how to maybe draw pictures?
When you say that, it nods excitedly and pulls one of its quills out and does like a crude drawing of you with your glasses and your big hair on the dirt.
Okay, I'm gonna pull my journal out that I have, and I'm gonna give him or them, because we don't know. I'm gonna give them a pen and the journal, and I'm gonna start asking them questions.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, "Where did you come from? How did you get here? What the heck just happened? Do you know?"
It's scribbling as you're like asking questions, and it puts the pen, it like notches it in two of the forks of its antler as like a place to hold it, and then turns the pad around, and it's a little scribble of Raven.
Raven brought you here?
It's just like tap, tap, tap the picture and pointing back at her.
Are you here to be Raven's friend? Are you here to help Raven like I have Ghosty and Tom?
And it takes the pen and starts scribbling again. And this time, below where Raven's portrait that it did is like a crude drawing of it with its little quill and bow.
So you're here to fight for Raven? You're here to use your bow and arrow with Raven?
And the spirit sets the pad of paper down, tears a sheet of paper from it, and wind catches the paper and takes it sailing up into the air. And in the blink of an eye, this little spirit fires 3 shots at the paper, which all hit and send the sheet back down to the ground, pinned by these small quill arrows.
Raven
It
wanted
stands
to
there.
save that paper.
It stands there looking very proud.
Wow! You
I
just
think
did
it's wants
that!
to fight me.
Do you want to fight Raven?
No, not. Sorry. I should have. It's not the one. It's not the one with Raven and its picture on it. It took like a blank one and threw that up in the air.
Okay. Oh my god, I thought it shot the paper with the drawing of me on it. It's like he seems not aggressive for something saying he wants to fight me.
No.
Okay, that makes way more sense. Also,
So-
Raven will keep that picture that it drew of her because she really loves it.
Aw.
So
Now that it's established.
Raven brought you here, and you're here to help her by using you're here to be her friend, and to help her by using your bow and arrow. Or your quill. Bow and quill.
It gives you your pen back, doesn't draw anymore, and then turns around and then sits next to Raven and looks up at her.
Raven's gonna reach out and like try and give it a little head pat, like see if it's okay with that.
Yeah.
It's just
fine
trying
with
like
it. Yeah.
pat it between the antlers, maybe
Mhm.
scratch behind his ears.
Yeah.
Do you love her?
It looks at you with like a.
What is
What
love,
is
Felicity?
love?
Yeah, Aidan will come over and she also kneels next to this thing, and it like its ears go back for a second, seeing her, and she does the hand outstretched thing, and it cautiously comes over, like almost like it's paying deference to her, and bows its head.
Wow.
She like brushes its back, and even the quill section, as she's running her hand over it, they're not active at this point, so they're just like more fur. It's almost like the fur can into the quills, or it can relax and be just like long fur on the back. And
Raven
so
wants
she,
to grab
yeah,
the journal
she-
again really quick and grab the pen and like gesture towards it and be like, "Do you have a name? Do you have something we can call you?" And she'll kind of hand it to the little rabbit.
as Aidan's petting it, she's like, "It's a forest spirit, like them." And she looks back at Ghosty and Tom, and they do a little like a thumbs up at you, Raven. The little rabbit sketches, scribbles that out, tears that away, just lets the paper fall, goes and scribbles again, and it flips it around, and it is leaves tumbling in what looks like a gust of wind.
Guys, anything?
Leaf Windson.
You should name him Gus.
Gusty? Gusty's really close to Ghosty, though. We might get confused.
You could call it Breeze
Oh, Breeze is cute.
or Windy.
Oh, also Windy. That was an obvious one we skipped. Raven's gonna lean down and be like, "Windy? Is that okay?"
And the little rabbit nods its head and does more of its little like hop, hop, hop around. And as it does, it like kicks up some of the dirt, but then it is hopping through those dirt clouds on the sky, spirals its way up a little bit, and this little like tiny dust devil appears and then disappears as it lands.
Wow, that was cool.
I love him.
she's gonna, because she's still on the ground. She has not stood up since all of this.
Yeah.
She's gonna like hold out her hands and like pat her thighs and see if it'll come sit in her lap.
Yeah.
She's
And
gonna
like
start
it
gingerly starting.
has antlers, so it's not like the most cuddly, but it, they're not like in the way, and it slumps over your leg so that like its head and antlers are to
Not
the side.
stabbing her in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like leans back to make room for the antlers, and then she pets him, looking at everybody else like.
Aidan is like, well, that was not the magic I expected to be practicing, but
No.
Yeah, you thought you were here for me, huh? Look at this.
we still are.
I got
Yeah,
it
did I
under
see you reverse
control.
gravity over there?
Yeah.
Don't think we missed that. I saw some stuff floating.
You
Aidan
summoned
doing
a
some
rabbit.
backflips.
I don't know. You summoned
You
a whole
reversed
entire thing.
Gravity.
Mhm.
Not that Windy isn't really cool and also baffling. Don't worry, little buddy.
It makes the first sound that you've heard, and it kind of sounds like wooden wind chimes clacking together.
As soon as you said sound, that's the exact sound I pictured. I'm so happy.
Yay!
I love Windy.
Yeah, they're great. Hello, adventurers. Did you think we'd lay off the cuteness just because the house elf issue was resolved? Absolutely not. There's always room for cuteness on this podcast. Raven's picked herself up a mysterious little familiar, but if you're a spellcrafting wizard in your own tabletop game, then perhaps our sponsor can provide you with some fun new additions to your own magical kit. Modern Artifice makes custom gaming supplies and a wide variety of dice types. Resin, yes, but also metal and gemstone. I saw the castings of their metal dice, and they look like Christmas trees made of dice. It makes sense, but I'd never thought about how metal dice are actually produced before. If you're looking for a custom item or specialty work, Modern Artifice offers a range of services, including 3D printing, laser engraving, CNC machining, mold making, and more. Maybe you're in the mood for a surprise? Check out their mystery bags of resin or metal dice and see what you get. It's honestly a perfect gift for the dice goblins in your life. You know the ones. So check out modernartifice.com or their Facebook page, facebook.com/modernartifice. Go get yourself some of these magical gaming goods, adventurers, before those goblins get them all. There's one more thing I have to talk about on this break, and it's that we made it to episode 10. That's a small but important milestone for us. Most podcasts don't even make it past episode 7, it turns out. Which is a little sad, but I can understand why. A lot of work goes into making a show like this. Keeping everything on schedule and actively growing behind the scenes takes a ton of dedication, but the reception we've gotten from all of you has been really validating. If you're sharing the show with your friends and other online circles, that's helping us out a ton. It's a simple but important way you can support the show because more dedicated listeners is what sponsors look for. I really try to make the ad breaks as unintrusive as possible, but our sponsors are a really important part of what lets us make this show a thing in the first place. It's thanks to them that the squad and I can continue to record our sessions and turn them into episodes for everyone else to listen to. Thanks for sticking with us, adventurers. Agent Whittaker, we haven't heard from you for a little bit.
Whittaker's Autumn Falls team is currently a little bit MIA. So he's gonna, having submitted all of the information he's got right now, Whittaker's gonna take a trip to the Autumn Falls Museum.
Okay.
He's aware that Hugo works here. I forget how much Hugo's told us about the sect. Hugo, would Whittaker know that the sect is involved in the museum, or would that not be something
If
that
you
would have
would, it would
made?
probably be through the agency's connections themselves, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Hugo has really said anything about his group other than he's in one.
I think Hugo has said anything, and you can
Hugo has-
stop right there.
Yeah, Hugo has done a real good job of keeping his secret secret. So, yeah, Whittaker just knows that Hugo works there I guess your reasoning
Mhm.
could be you're just trying to see if Hugo's around.
It's less like he's trying to see if Hugo's around, and it's more like if Hugo's around, say hi. And also, I have been trying to ask this man about what he does and where he's from for ages, and I've got nothing.
Yeah,
That's a
so now
mood.
you're
So
you're
now we're just gonna go to
investigating
the
him.
source.
You get to the museum, and I've described it before. It's a natural history museum, but in the small town sense. They have a lot of taxidermy exhibits on local wildlife, foxes and raccoons and otters and ducks and songbirds in the area. They probably have like a bear that's stuffed and maybe and one of those exhibits where it's like mannequins of like the Native American peoples of the area and like showing like this is how they constructed their houses and this is how they carved boats, or this is the West Coast, so probably the totem poles and things like that. And it's got different exhibits on the area's geography. And there's like a very small fossil exhibit, trilobites and like little shells and things. And then like one parasaur dinosaur or something like that. Like they don't have a T-Rex or anything. They've got like one dinosaur skeleton and it's not real. It's like a casting of like another one found in the area. There are people working at the museum who are not involved with Hugo's thing, and they're doing various biological surveys in the area. They're testing the swamp waters and the mountain vegetation and doing a lot of ecology type of studies. That's what the museum is, and it's quaint, I would say. I'm basing it on one that exists in Rockford, Illinois, which is where my
Nice.
extended family comes from, and that's kind of how that place is too. It's like a 3-story building, and it's like, oh, museum, but it's not like natural history in New York or Washington or anything like that.
That's a good vibe. I like that. Whittaker walks around, looks at everything. Whittaker's going to investigate a mystery.
I thought he might.
It's a 6. Boy, is this place mysterious. Looks like a regular museum, honestly.
On a miss, you reveal some information to the monster or whoever you are talking to.
I bet, hey, does he find Professor Argyle?
You definitely do.
Yes. Oh my god.
And he is the docent on duty today, giving some of the tours. And you come in, and he's like, good afternoon. Welcome to the Autumn Falls Natural History exhibit. Next tour starts in half an hour, but you can catch the tail end of the school group that just went through if you'd like.
I figured I'll just walk around by myself for now, but thank you.
He nods and kind of doesn't seem to pay you much mind, but as you go into the museum, he's like watching you.
What was it that Hugo said? Foreign powers are getting involved.
Yep.
I think he might try to make... If Professor Ariel does not look busy with stuff, he might try to make small talk with him.
Okay, yeah.
I have a friend who works here.
Yeah, okay, that's a big thing. You say...
and I think that's probably where the information reveal comes from.
The reveal of information happens, and he says, you know our employee Hugo. How did you meet, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, we met while out hiking, I believe. Stumbled on the same path together. And I've been staying in town for, a month or two now, and I've been spending a little more time with him. Pleasant chap he is.
Yes, indeed. You said you're here for work?
For work, yes. It's a bit of a traveling job.
Right. Hugo has the day off today. I don't think you'll be seeing him around here.
All right, well, I thought I'd check the place out. Been meaning to come by. It's a lovely little place.
Yes.
How long have you been working here?
I've been curator for quite some time. We like to foster exploration and knowledge here. Spent most of my time here in Autumn Falls doing work through the museum.
And with that, I think Whittaker's gonna bid him a pleasant sort of
good
day to you and start exploring.
As you go to leave, Lonnie, he says, check the gift shop. We sometimes offer discounts, depending on where you work.
Thank you for the information. I think I will. Yeah, okay. But picking up what he's putting down. He is actually going to check out the gift shop. Anything interesting in there?
They have a stand of shiny polished rocks. They have cans of slime that are somehow being sold as a science item. They have some like 3D dinosaur wooden puzzles of like skeletons and little plushies of the different animals that are on exhibit and
They
classic.
so have one of those big things of rocks.
Yeah. Like the
Like a
polished,
little
like,
bag.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
You started saying they have a lot of colorful rocks, and then you said they have a lot of slime, and I thought you were going to go and give us each a thing. Each of the characters would very much like you to buy for them, that you have the option of purchasing should you choose to accept this mission.
And Agent Whittaker, they got colorful
And
rocks.
you lost me at Cut Out Dinosaur. I was like, Bethany?
No, I was just describing a museum gift shop. They could have been very smart if I was smarter.
Talking about the watches they have and the stuffed rabbits they have.
Right.
The coin
And
press
some
machine.
little miniatures too.
You do actually, Agent Whittaker, you see a stuffed rabbit with antlers and like a stuffed Bigfoot
Aw.
and a stuffed lake monster in the historical cryptids of the Northwest United States.
Love that.
Yeah.
Now it is Hugo's day off, but you gonna run by Hugo?
He actually needed to stop by the museum so he could go search for if there's any extra sets of smaller armor. Because if people are going to be practicing magic and possibly slinging spells at each other,
Agent Whittaker, you're in the gift shop and you see Hugo walk by. I don't think you notice him, Hugo.
nope.
Yeah, you see Hugo like here on his day off.
Whittaker's gonna do that thing where he goes after him and walks behind him for as long as he can before Hugo notices him.
Well, this is the question, Agent Whittaker. Are you going to secret agent style follow Hugo as he proceeds to go into the back of the museum?
Absolutely.
I think that will be act under pressure.
That's a 10! You do what you set out to do. It's a great casual walk behind and just ducking out of sight whenever someone's around or whenever Hugo turns around.
Yeah, Hugo, you're not thinking that you'd run into anyone here. Everyone you know is off testing spells on Cold Trail. Whittaker, you see Hugo and you follow him back past the employees only door. You come back to the area where people are sifting through containers of sand that has mollusks and things that they pulled from the river to test like toxicity and algae reports and things. But it's that room in the museum that's like sometimes on display, if you've ever been to these places before, where it's like you can see the scientists doing the museum science. It's that back room. Hugo goes over to what looks like a thermostat, basically, flips it down and enters in the code. That wall with the set of shelves and things on it slides open, and Hugo goes down, but you slip in. How long do you wait before you reopen this secret passage?
Not knowing what's behind it, I wouldn't wait longer than like 4 beats. Just to give him enough time to not notice it opening behind him. I mean, I don't know, it depends on how cautious Hugo is, but Whittaker gives it a solid 4 beats and then goes after him.
Yeah, that's a good question to clarify. Hugo, are you kind of in a rush to just like pop in, pop out?
He's in a rush somewhat. However, he's trying to make sure that at least Mr. Argyle doesn't see him while he's doing what he's doing.
Oh, so you're also trying to avoid Argyle's attention.
Yep.
Why don't you act under pressure?
We're all being sneaky today.
Yeah, secrets are happening. We have Secret Squad and we have Summoning Squad.
11.
You sneak right in there. Argyle is doing a tour for 3rd graders. He's doing his day job. So yeah, you slip in, you slip by, but Whittaker, you wait a couple seconds, pause, and then beep, 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 beep. It opens for you as well. Hugo, you go downstairs. You said you're looking for armor.
Yep.
You had mentioned leather armor before. What are you picturing as like Hugo's hunter gear that he has received as a whispered?
It's definitely hard leather armor and soft leather armor combined. It still has enough mobility for usage of a spear, but it can take a hit.
It's like flexible leather layered on top of loose-fitted training gi or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are extra pairs of it down here, just as part of the general equipment that Argyle has on him. And so you're rustling around, and what do you say when you discover this secret crypt / like library space, Whittaker? Because it's like stone down here. It's old stone, older than the museum's foundation. This is some sort of reliquary place. There's old, musty scrolls, walls of them, and books and tomes and things in jars that are like the skeleton of a sprite or the hand of some creature that's being preserved. This is classic dungeon of a sorcerer, essentially.
Agent Whittaker looks around. He says, "Good place to spend your day off."
Fuck.
Bethany, where are you at? What are you doing?
Bethany's gone back. I think she's gone back to running, yeah. I don't think she's running by Whittaker's house. I think she would rather not get the possibility of asking him to come hang out and then get the response of, no, I'm with all of the people who know things about magic. But I think it was a pretty short run. She's doing a lot of those like high intensity workouts. She's like looking at a lot of combat training stuff, and she's like trying her best to kind of spar with the things she has around her house. Like one of her sisters like sewing mannequin. She like puts a jacket on and like tapes a face to it or the word to it and starts trying to beat it up. A lot of DIY combat training.
And you're doing this at your house?
I think sometimes she goes to the gym or she goes to like classes where they're like, here's a punching bag, go for it. She's really just trying to go for it, and I think she's too intense for the classes. I'm not saying she's necessarily too good for the classes. She's just putting too much effort in.
You probably take a class at the Kojima Dojo.
She doesn't want to see Hugo or Raven.
Well, like, you know, it's not the karate class. They offer self-defense classes there as part of their programming. You take Haru Yoshida's sparring class Saturday afternoon. So he's like, all right, we're going to run through what we did last week. Bethany, come on up. And you just like take his shin out and he's just like, oh, whoa.
One of those classic moments in dramas when like there's a one person who can kick ass. They're not fighting anymore, but Bethany's still like in the zone, and someone like puts their hand on her shoulder. She like turns around just like, and she's like, I'm so sorry. Like they're like bleeding.
So yeah, you have that experience in class today. Haru is like, it's fine. It's fine. It happens all the time. Anything else you want to touch on before we jump back to one of our other groups?
I think she wouldn't really make an effort to reach out. She's kind of fired up from what Hugo told her.
Lights a fire under her butt.
Yeah,
okay.
it really inspires her to kick ass.
So we'll go back to our magic training crew. At this point, Ghosty, Tom, and Windy are running around in the grass, and they're doing this thing that, like, Felicity, you see spirits do it all the time, where their glamour is flickering on and off. It's almost like watching footage where the camera wasn't running at a high enough speed to capture all the in-between frames. You'll see them, like, leaping through the air, and then they vanish, and then you see, like, the grass rustling as they invisibly run through it, and then, like, one of them will leap out in full view, and the other two will full view jump after them. And so they're just like playing in the grass now as spirits are wont to do. At this point, I think some time has passed. The training of the day is over, because after Raven summoned something, it was sort of like, whoa,
We're done now.
yeah, we're done. You brought snacks, right? Like,
Raven pulls out the snacks. She's always prepared.
Yeah, you guys are just kind of enjoying this quiet afternoon in the field. Aidan looks over at both of you and she says, so today was more than I expected, but not in a bad way. How are you feeling?
Me?
Both of you.
Oh, I feel great.
I feel okay. Still a little confused, but, you know, doing okay.
Welcome to magic.
Yeah. Raven's feeding Windy little bits of her organic granola bars.
Do you all think of yourselves often?
What do you mean?
Yes, all the time.
Whoa. No, okay. I didn't know. Okay.
Do you not think about yourself?
No,
like analyzing yourself, or like doing things
like
just
self-analysis.
Well,
no, I just usually focus on what everyone else is doing at the time.
Demon without guilt. Wow.
Yeah,
Raven's
yeah,
staring
like that.
off
I
into
don't
space
have
as
that.
She analyzes herself. She's like, oh wow, maybe I really should look deep down more often. Just totally gone.
I guess, yeah, you guys feel guilt, and I don't. You don't like feeling guilt, though, right? It's just like the thing that happens.
Yes.
Well, and nobody likes to feel guilty, but it's kind of a necessary thing. You should feel guilty if you do bad things. It prevents you from doing more bad things.
Okay, I mean, that sounds fair.
You don't feel any guilt?
Oh, no. No, not at all. What could I do wrong?
But can you...
You're just doing what other people are doing, after all.
Right?
Yeah. But can you look back and like logically know that something you did was wrong, even if you don't feel bad about it emotionally?
I
Can you
mean, I've done
acknowledge?
things, I've performed subpar.
Okay. Interesting.
Hey, Raven,
Yeah?
can I talk to you about something?
Sure? What's up?
I'm gonna take her away from the group for a second.
Oh, yeah.
So, I kind of learned something today
Okay.
about Damien.
Oh.
My
She's
tree...
gonna like shuffle them a little bit further away.
A little farther away.
And like try not to look back at him.
I think,
Yeah, what's up?
I think he's killed good people.
You think?
I mean, he
I'm
kind of really just told me that, yeah, like he has.
I'm a little disappointed, but not surprised, which is really sad. I feel like we kind of should have seen that coming. He is a demon after. I mean, like he's a nice guy, but we don't know what he's done in his past. We don't know how old he is, like how long he's been around.
Yeah, I took him today. He came over a little bit before you guys. I took him to meet my tree,
Mm-hmm.
and the tree wouldn't talk to him. I think she thinks he's bad.
Has anyone else talked to your tree before?
You know, I've never really tried.
It could just be that only you can talk to the tree.
No, she made some comments. She said, "Don't let fallen near my roots."
Okay.
Then she said, she went off onto a little thing about good and evil.
And she thinks he's evil?
I don't really know, but that's kind
She
of...
thinks he might be evil?
Yeah. Which, like, is really conflicting because, like, we definitely all knew that he was a demon, and I don't know why this freaked me out so much.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
It's like you just don't...
We're really surprised by this, but we shouldn't
You don't
be.
really think about it, you know?
Yeah. That is...
We're like,
wow.
what happens? What happens if he sees a monster and it kills one of us, and then suddenly he's got to kill one of us?
Oh, yeah. You know, I hadn't thought about that. That's something we should probably bring up to the rest of the group at some point soon.
Yeah, my tree
if
just
you
straight up
guys
freaked me out today.
Chasing some pig guy? Yeah, we need to
yeah, there's a pig
have
guy.
a meeting. That's a whole other
Forgot
thing we
to
need
tell
to
you about
discuss.
that
I've
one.
filed that away. Don't worry. That's coming up later. But yeah, we should talk to the others about this. I don't know if it's cause for alarm, but it's definitely a reason to be cautious. I'm glad you told me this.
Yeah, it's free. And I also, I didn't even really want to tell Aidan because, angel, demon. I feel like she has some inherent biases.
Yeah, it's understandable. But maybe we can talk to, I think Hugo might have some insight, and Agent Whittaker. I think they might have some, and Bethany. I think she spends the most time with him. She knows him the best out of all of us, besides maybe Whittaker. They kind of live together, I think.
But I feel like the thing of it is that we all kind of know him, you know?
Yeah.
Like we all know him, but have any of us really thought about him being a demon?
None of us except Aidan, I think. We'll have another meeting, I guess. That's what we're calling it. We're not really hanging out. We discussed some pretty serious stuff, but I think we'll get the group together and talk about this. Maybe I can come talk to your tree. See if she talks to anybody else.
I would love for you to come and talk to my tree. Let's hope that Damien doesn't accidentally kill us without thinking about it. That would be nice.
I think at the very least we need a backup plan in case the idea gets in his head.
Also, we summoned him though, so maybe he owes us.
Maybe he owes you. You're kind of the one who put that in motion.
Yeah, but we did it together.
I think Raven's gonna try and start leading Felicity back to the group now that they've
Yeah.
kind of gotten off the subject of Damien enough that it doesn't seem suspicious.
Before we get to that, Damien, you and Aidan are now sitting alone.
So,
Oh, God, that's right.
do you sleep? What do you do when you're just awake all the time? Because I get bored, so I've been like wandering around doing, animal stuff and people stuff.
I listen to music a lot. It keeps me occupied when the world is asleep.
Huh, you don't like go out and explore and check out everything when there's no guards or security?
No. I've seen a lot of the world. I've met a lot of people.
Okay, yeah, let's get on this people, like this
No,
humans
but, like,
thing. Okay?
Hear me out. They're
What's-
very, very different, obviously. Every
Right?
person is unique,
It's
but
fascinating.
they are beautiful. Yes. I mean, there's so many of them.
There's like 7 billion flavors of ice cream out there. It's ludicrous, and they're constantly changing.
I know. I'm also probably trying to keep a lower profile than you, if I'm being perfectly honest. I don't get up to mischief because I don't want most people knowing what I am.
Yeah, I suppose it's safer if people don't know who I am, yada yada. But there's so many things to do. I want to be like these people, I want to do their things and not have like, he's secretly going to kill us all. It's like, I might, but like probably not. That's highly unlikely. They have no reason to.
I want you to know, Damien, if I suspect that you might hurt Felicity or any of them, I will destroy you.
Absolutely, as well you should, and vice versa.
Right.
I mean,
Cheers to that. And she kind of like lifts her glass. I don't know what you are, but you're not like any other demon I've ever met. I can touch you.
Yeah, it's pretty concerning. I've seen what you can do to the things you touch.
Mm-hmm. Her fist kind of glows gold for a second.
No, I mean, like, I'm capable of anything, but some things are just more in my own self-interest. And people are better alive than dead. 99.9% of the time. Never been like, oh, let's hang around with a bunch of corpses. This is exciting. Ooh, graveyards. Ooh, so much motion and excitement. Let's just check out this rock and that rock. Like, come on, man.
You have been dead, so I suppose there's no novelty in that, really. Yeah, how was that?
They don't want me back. It's sort of mutual.
Huh.
I mean, they're not nice, and the place isn't nice. I want to avoid dying as much as possible.
I could understand that.
Or like heroic death, I guess. That's kind of cool. I've seen that in a few movies. Like, oh, you guys go ahead. I'll stay and do the bomb manually. That's thing.
We should try and
That
avoid
seems
that
really
too, I
cool.
think. It's not good to idolize that sort of thing. Like I said, I don't quite understand you, and I'm not sure I need to.
Yeah, let's do the human thing and be friends.
We can certainly try.
Oh, they're coming back. Speaking of friends. So, guys, when we get Hugo here, can we, like, super magic to try to locate this man-boar pig?
Hugo, you're not there yet, and might not go there. You and Whittaker are in the secret underground base of the Whispered at the Autumn Falls Natural History Museum.
Agent Whittaker, did not expect you to be around these parts.
Neither did I. It's your day off.
Does anyone know you're here?
In the basement, just you. Upstairs, I talked to that Mr. Argyle, I think his name, Tigrad.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to need you to follow me. We cannot be in here right now.
I wanted to see where you worked.
It's a museum. It's a wonderful place to work.
Yeah, quite a museum.
Did you check out the gift shop?
I did check out the gift shop.
Good. Okay, now let's get going.
Hugo, do you leave out that exit, or do you take the tunnels?
He tries to leave out that exit. As bad of an idea as it is.
Mr. Shot, I understand that I've
Are you
stumbled
still
into
taking the armor, or...
Nope, the armor is still laying right on the table.
I think, Whittaker, you were stopping him as he, moved towards the door?
Mr. Shot, I understand that I've probably walked in on something a little out of the average person's depth. I just want to know what your deal is.
Well, right now, my deal is trying to make sure there's no reason for me to have to kill you. So if you would kindly go up these stairs and follow me.
Okay.
Do I need to roll to manipulate?
Well,
We roll manipulate against each other.
yeah, roll manipulate against each other. This
Yeah,
Oh,
a
this is gonna
contested
standoff.
roll.
This is a standoff.
Badly. This is going to
You're
go very
in luck.
badly.
I don't have charm. I have
Yeah.
a -1 charm.
I also have minus. Okay, so this is fair.
Ooh!
This is fine.
Yeah, our very
Well,
uncharming secret
I got a
defense.
3.
Oh.
I got a 4.
Oh my god, this is hilarious. I cannot believe this.
I am losing it at the idea of these two boys. I won't go up the stairs, but he's like shaking. I could kill you. He's all like clearly both very nervous.
I need you both to know
Mhm.
that the specific phrasing of when you fail to manipulate someone is that you offend or anger the target. You are both pissed at each other right now.
Oh, I wish I had popcorn.
Right, I'm imagining it's like Hugo is like, so let's go, and Whittaker just like hand on the doorway.
If you would
Ow.
just talk to us once in a while, we wouldn't have to be having this conversation right here.
I can't talk to you about certain things. And I do talk to you once in a while. A while is just a very long period of time, which is what we're taking here and what we need to not be taking so long here. Can we please go?
You did roll higher on your manipulation, so I will walk with you, but I won't be happy about it.
I'm just curious if they're going to make it out of there before Mr. Argyle pops up.
You start to head up the stairs back towards that entrance. And it's not Mr. Argyle who you
Oh, no.
hear stepping down the stairs. There's someone else who works at the museum. Her name is Ria Singh. She's one of the other research assistants.
Is she part of Singh's family practice?
Yes. She is one of his daughters. She's got coppery, warm skin with dark black hair and thin features. She's usually wearing a lab coat that's a little big for her. She is coming down the stairs and she's got like a flashlight. And she points it down at the two of you. I thought I heard someone come down here.
Ria, good to see you. How are you doing today?
And she tilts the flashlight, points it at you, Agent Whittaker.
Excuse us, I was just leaving.
And she turns the flashlight off. Agent Whittaker, I need you to act under pressure. She starts to undo her lab coat and lets it drop to the ground.
That's hot.
It is, especially when she raises her arms and then raises her other arms behind her.
Whittaker's getting a lot of experience tonight. So, 1, and then failing to roll against Hugo was 2, and then doing what Hugo said when he manipulated me was 3, and now we've got 4 for this 5 that I just rolled. I got snake eyes. I got the lowest score you could
Oh, Whittaker. Yeah, this woman has 4 arms, and there are like bangles on all of them, and they line and lock into place at her wrists, and she leaps down the stairs at you.
get. Oh, that's fun. Ooh, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. I'm gonna try to duck out of the way!
Can I roll to protect?
Yeah.
Oh, bad
What
choices.
do I roll to not get hit? Because I'm not kicking ass. I'm not fighting her.
You're not fighting her. I would say it's another act under
Mm.
pressure, probably. Or,
Act under
well, no,
pressure,
because you
yeah.
just
Alright.
rolled that and failed.
Mhm.
So I think, Whittaker, you kind of lock up.
Oh.
You're like, oh shit, I'm caught.
All right. Yeah, fair enough. That is what that would mean.
There's the like, oh crap, I'm caught, and then the, oh crap, what is she? So yeah, Hugo, how'd you do to protect?
I got a 13.
Okay. Hugo, you know Ria. You know her moves, you've sparred with her. Not at karate class. You've sparred with Ria. So when she comes flying at Whittaker with all 4 of her very targeted strikes, you deflect them all, just like... And the last one, she punches into the wall, and you like deflect her arm and are holding it in like a wrist lock. What are you doing? He saw.
This is not the place. This is not the time. And with his connections, this is not the fight we want.
And she uses 2 of her hands to like break the grip you've got on her, rotates under you to like shift positions with you. She like forces you up 2 steps so that now she's in between you and Whittaker. and one of her arms flies out and grabs Yulani around the throat.
Classic.
Yeah.
Maneuver.
Yeah, she's very cool. You are in enough trouble as it is. Let me finish this.
So as she's saying that, he's going to take a moment to think about all of his life choices.
Uh-huh.
Let's try using some magic.
All right, Hugo.
Just 'cause. Do 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 do.
This is the classic magic incantation song.
Got a 10.
Ooh.
A 10. What magic effect are you looking to do?
The goal was to just try to tase her slightly so that she'd let go.
Okay. You thunder fist her, I guess, right? Is that the goal, or are you using... He doesn't have weapons on him, right?
Doesn't have weapons on him right now, which it's not going to be the most comfortable thing on his end, at least.
Yeah, no. Your tattoo crackles, and you, as she's like looking at you like, let me finish it, and she turns, assuming that she's told you off enough that you'll like back down, and her eye catches the flash, and then wham! And she slumps to the ground, stunned and tased and twitching. Whittaker, at this point, you can do something. The like shock is worn off, and you rub your throat where she was grabbing you.
Hugo, what the fuck?
I told you. Did I not tell you?
No, why'd you just...
Would you
I had it
rather be
handled.
dead right now?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I had it handled. Let's go.
Oh, we're going all right.
Actually, no, you should probably stay here and clear this up. I might as well get out of here.
No, I need you to speak with someone for me. So I'm
Is
going to
it,
need you.
is it another person who's going to try to go for my throat?
Oh, no, he's far worse. Come with me. We're going to go on another trip. He's going to try to guide him to the front lobby to go see Mr. Argyle, because honesty is the best policy.
All right. Yeah, Mr. Argyle is saying goodbye and like thanking the teacher, and her third graders are now piling onto a school bus. And
The
he
wrong
kind of,
vibe.
yeah, he kind of turns around, and you two are walking up together. Hugo, didn't think you'd be in today.
Oh, apparently I had need of pissing off some people this morning. So, well, may have had
Mr.
a little bit of
Argyle,
hustle.
I would like to formally apologize for using your employee in order to sneak into your basement.
Yeah, there's that.
His face goes from kindly museum curator to hardened veteran monster hunter in a heartbeat. The cane that he's holding, that he uses to like walk around on, he picks up, taps the top of it into his other hand. Why don't we go back down and have a talk?
As they go to do that, can Hugo quickly stop into the gift shop and see if there's any like frozen ice cream or freeze-dried ice cream?
Yeah, there's like astronaut ice cream for sure.
He's gonna grab one of those as a "I'm sorry" gift for his friend downstairs.
Okay.
Next time they spar, she's just gonna kick his butt even harder.
Oh, yeah, and like as you walk through the museum, Argyle's not using the cane, and he is just walking with purpose towards the back room. When you get to that research room with all the experiments going on, the door is just closing to the secret entrance, and Rhea has put on her lab coat and is like spinning around, like her hair is kind of disheveled. She sees Mr. Argyle and, Argyle, you're... you! And goes into like a defensive stance as you follow him in. Argyle just gives her a look. Stand down. I'm going to handle this.
Rhea, I know it's not a Snickers, but here.
And she snatches the ice cream out of your hands, Hugo, nods at Argyle, and walks by you, staring daggers.
You might think that you can get away with anything, but Argyle won't be able to talk you out of trouble this time, Hugo.
Gives you the same look, Whittaker, but like doesn't spare you a word.
Bye, Rhea.
So, you guys go back down to this basement. Argyle sees the armor lying on the table. Hugo, I want the truth. Now. And before you start, all of it. And he just sets his cane on the table and goes and like sits in like the leather-bound chair that he usually reads in.
Whittaker was ready to like leap to Hugo's defense and like just kind of explain everything. But you know, on second thought, I do want to see Hugo say more than 3 words in a row.
So when you say the truth, You're going to have to be a little bit clearer about
What
that.
were you coming down here to do? Why do you have the spellslinger armor out?
Practice.
You have your own set. Do you cast spells, sir? Are you a magician?
No, sir.
Practice for people who are discovering that their capabilities are beyond what they thought they were.
Speak plainly. Tell me, what are you doing with these people? It's the same group. I know it is. I can tell by the look on your face. The angel and the others.
I'm trying to make sure that, given they don't have the type of connections that we have, or that Mr. Whittaker over here has, they can protect themselves.
He regards you, Whittaker, when Hugo says that you have connections. I was right, wasn't I? You're with the Easties.
That would be correct, though you could have just asked.
It's polite not to. Sort of how it's polite not to go snooping around secret basements. You don't catch us infiltrating your organization.
We would give you a tour.
I doubt that. Anyone coming in off the street can come in and see what it is you deal with on the day-to-day.
You are not a man off the street.
How would you know that? Until today, you had no idea this existed. You might have had some inkling, but you had no proof. Look at me. A man with a limp, showing up out of the blue, claiming to see spirits. Your agency is not an open-door facility.
I'm sure they'd be more than willing to compromise with you if you have information for them. We've worked with many different...
I'm not interested in working for your organization. Nor, I think, are they interested in working for me. Which begs the question, what are we to do about this? Rhea knows. She will tell her father.
Well, what can we do? We don't want to get into a conflict with the East Agency. Plain and simple.
No, I can see that going very poorly.
At the same time, I don't know what any of the other factions would think about. They already hate me anyway.
The chapter leaders will have to decide how they feel about a new group of hunters.
Well, hopefully, and pardon my candor, by the time that they come to their decision, these people will be skilled enough that it won't matter what they decide.
And we're going to cut from there to Raven's car as our magic users in training are driving back after coming down the trail and packing up their things. Raven, Windy is sitting in the middle section of the car in the front seat between you and Aidan. It looks fascinated by your vehicle, by how fast it's going without using its wind magic. It's like an excited dog. Loves car rides, apparently. You guys have to go back to take Felicity home. Do you spend time talking to the tree?
I don't know if that was something we were planning on doing that
I think
day.
it was like mentioned briefly, but I don't think it was like a that day kind of a thing.
Yeah, Raven kind of gave like a non-committal of like, yes, I would like to do that sometime, but it wasn't necessarily like...
Yeah, I feel like the whole the tree being angry about the demon freaked Felicity out a little bit. So she's like, maybe not bringing an angel and a demon at the same time around the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that would not be the best idea. So I think it's like a just Raven coming over in the future.
So they drop you off, Felicity. You go home. Ghosty and Tom do that thing where like they don't want to leave right away because they have a new friend, and they like give Windy a little hug. Scale-wise, Windy is the size of like a hair, so it's it's bigger than they are. So they pat Ghosty's little skull head and give Tom a boop on his nose. Aidan rolls her window down from the front seat. Felicity?
Yes?
You did really, really great today. Please don't just keep trying things. We can make this a regular thing.
Okay.
Remember that stick that exploded? That's all I'm saying.
Don't want that to be my house now, do I?
Yeah, or anyone or thing else.
You have a little bit of a point. I won't do anything.
Okay. And I will let you know next time we go chase after a pigman.
Got it. I'll be awake. Don't worry.
Raven leans over Aidan to like yell out the window.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, we'll talk about the tree thing. Cool?
It'll be here. Doesn't go anywhere.
I figured.
All right, bye.
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 Aidan is scritching at Wendy's furry, tufted back as you drive. He says to you, Raven, guess you're on your way, right?
On my way?
I mean, you've summoned 2 things in a week.
Well, one of them was completely by accident.
No, that's pretty good. I just spit on stuff. You're doing some really cool magic.
You spit on stuff?
It's gross. Don't ask him about it.
Oh, but see, now I'm curious. Okay, we'll talk about it later. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll show you later. It's magic. It's okay.
Cool, yeah.
You eventually make it over to the riverfront apartments. Hugo never met up with you guys. You guess he got busy. Aidan gets out, and Wendy takes her place in the front seat and puts its little paws up on the half rolled down window and looks out. At first, Raven, you're like, oh god, don't be more obvious, right? But a lady and her kid walk by, and they look at Aidan getting out of the car, and you're like, they're gonna see, but they don't. Wendy has glamored itself to people that aren't angels and demons and you.
So Raven can still see it, but she's aware that other people cannot see it
Yes.
in that moment? Okay. Interesting. It's gonna make getting Wendy inside Raven's house a lot easier. She's been worrying about this since she realized it's coming home with her. What am I going to tell my parents?
So Aidan pats its head and she says, look after her. And Wendy gives a little thumbs up. And she just gives you kind of an awkward smile and she's like, I'll see you later.
Raven's gonna, I guess, lean over the car seat and roll down the window a little bit. And next time you guys go out somewhere in the middle of the night, you can let me know. I'll come with you if you need help.
She turns around and the sun glints through some of her hair as she's framed by it for a moment. Oh, sure. Will do. She turns around and goes back into her apartment.
Raven awkwardly rolls the window back up.
Yep.
Raven's gonna awkwardly turn and look at Damien in the back seat and be like, so you said you're gonna fly home?
Oh, yeah.
Are you just gonna come with me to my house and then you'll go? Just whatever's
Yeah, I
easiest
guess I
for
could
you.
get out of the car now.
Whatever works. I'm not kicking you out.
Good time to stretch. I am going to make a phone call first, so I will talk with you all later. And he gives a big, majestic bow and begins to saunter off.
Who are you calling?
Bethany.
Nice.
Hey, Damien. How was, I assume you were at the big party?
Yeah, it was good. We missed you. Hey, they had me think about myself today, which was weird and different for me. And I figured you're an expert on how people think. And I think how demons think. I want to think more like people because you guys seem to all get along and do awesome stuff. At some point, we should hang out and we should talk about, because you do psych stuff, right?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Why don't you ever think about yourself?
Well, because there's so many exciting things going on. You guys all have favorite colors and interests and animals and skills that you've picked up over the years. It's fascinating. I want to run around and do all of it.
But if you're doing what you want, then in a way you have already started. You're already thinking about yourself. You're thinking about what you would want, even if it's in relation to other people. But now I guess it's a question of, has there ever been something in your life that you genuinely wanted just cause? Not because someone else was doing it?
Damien, you do remember the time when you first were listening to music in that record shop?
Oh, yeah.
You kind of did that for yourself.
That's true. I hadn't seen anyone kill anyone before. That was new. Well, not with
What?
the hand grabbing. You see people get shot and stuff in movies and everything.
No,
But that was
Damien.
just
No, Damien, what did you just say?
I hadn't seen someone life drain someone before, and that was an impulse thing that I did.
Did they die?
I mean, I didn't check. I had to get back to work. I mean, yeah, he died.
Damien,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I know
Damien.
like dead people really sucks for you guys.
Yeah. What did you feel after that happened?
Well, I needed to get back to work. I was late. I was in trouble. I was hoping was going to do a good job.
Yeah.
I had to bring the tools back. There was good music. That was fun to listen to.
Yeah, Damien. Where are you right now?
Looks around. Oh yeah, I'm like right outside Raven's house.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay.
Why, are you okay?
Yeah. I'm just...
Yeah, friends do the thing where they have to check on each other, make sure they're doing okay. So let me know if you need anything.
Well, whenever you want to meet up to talk about everything, just let me know. But can I just ask again to get a clear picture of what's happening?
Yeah, of course.
The first time you ever thought about yourself was in relation to killing someone else?
No. It just seemed to be like the big example of like just doing something without any type of inspiration. Because before it's like, oh, hey, get us the gear, get us stuff. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. And then I like seeing what people do and copying that. That seems great. But that moment was like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to do stuff.
Well, let's hopefully find a way to do that in a way that doesn't involve hurting people. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good. I know you guys aren't really big on not hurting people, not killing people. And I know that talking with a therapist is good, and a lot of people do that. So.
Mm-hmm. Talking with a therapist is a good start. Let's just talk soon, okay, Damien?
Yeah, sounds good. Have a good one, Bethany.
All right, he hangs up. Do you want to have any moment of reaction there, Bethany, or are you good?
I think there's a part of her that always had figured that he had killed someone because of his predispositions of being inhuman. I think with Damien, because she's kind of put the most, I think, time into trying to figure out how he's feeling, that she has always been constantly shocked by how different he acts than other people. And I don't think she is surprised that he does not have the same level of morality or the same type of morality that she would have or that she would think someone else has. So I don't think that is surprising her. I think she didn't expect him to ever say it. It was never something she expected to come up. I think she's mostly just worried, like, about him. Because he did, in relation to thinking about himself for the first time, having that moment, that was when he also first did a kill.
It's less that he had self-awareness in that moment. That moment triggered his self-awareness in that it was the first time he wanted a thing and wanted it for himself, not to give over to Leviathan. For Anders' sake, playing Damien, that's the, important thing to note about that encounter, is that Damien had been mindlessly wanting things, but really he was going to get them as the hand and arm of Leviathan to do her process of taking a bit of energy from humans and then consuming it. But in that moment, he kind of just went to 11, cranked it up, and was just like, I want it! And ripped it out.
That is a first moment of self-awareness.
It totally is, yeah. I want, not I have to get this for my princess. It was me wants this thing. And then after that was like, wow, that was amazing.
I think she is, I think that right now her priority is to spend time with him that would be taking time away from him spending it with people who are inherently treating him like a threat. She doesn't trust, as much as she likes Aidan and Whittaker, how they treat him, because they treat him like he's a bomb about to go off a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And there's an inherent concern about a character who has a sense of almost super crazy level of empathy, of wanting to be in the same vibes as everyone else and mimicking them. And then if someone's trying to treat him like he's a threat, trying to almost go along with what they almost want to see him in, even if it's unconsciously, I think she is scared of that. I mean, because she's also I feel like the group also treats Bethany to an extent she is not prepared. She wants to make sure that she and Damien aren't alone on that.
So we leave Bethany pensively looking at her phone after Damien hangs up, considering all these implications and maybe coming to a different understanding of this friend that she's made as she learns more about him and the way he thinks. And Damien, you, hands in your pockets, phone put away, just kind of whistle as you walk, heading home to the Whittaker, Winnebago.
He puts on some headphones.
What song do we play out on, Damien?
Staying Alive.
Amazing.
I have a couple really quick things
Sure.
before we're like totally done.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about this thing that I have. Every time I see a new kind of creature, I can immediately ask and investigate a mystery question.
Sure. And you still have your 3. If you want to do those now as you're like
Yeah.
driving home, Raven.
I think Raven drives home and then does that thing where she sits in her driveway on her phone before she goes inside. So for investigate a mystery about her little wind spirit, she just wants to know what can hurt it. She's kind of learned a bit about nature spirits from her friends, and she really just wants to know like how to protect it.
You know that nature spirits can be corrupted by the influence of demons because you saw the hellhounds and they were corrupted nature spirits and animals. Yeah, that's one of them. Do I have to give you multiple things of like everything that can hurt it? I think it's just one answer for that. If you want to keep asking that question, though, I can come up with other answers.
No,
that's certainly one, and would probably be on her mind, I would think, because like now you have this spirit, and while Felicity has Ghosty and Tom, and they've like been around her all her life, this is new, and you're gonna be fighting stuff. You think maybe you kind of signed on to do that, and you know this little critter seems to want to fight by your side, so you're like, oh boy.
Part of that too is just like she feels so much responsibility for it now, and so it's kind of like, what does it eat? Is there something I could give it that could potentially hurt it? Like, don't give it grapes. I don't know.
Yeah, like what's its allergies list?
Yeah. So in case there's anything glaringly obvious, she doesn't want to accidentally hurt it. And then for connect the dots, I don't know how well you can answer these, but we'll just see. When and where will the next critical event occur? We haven't really like gotten too far into anything, but I'm wondering if he maybe has some like inkling of when something might happen.
I think you can speak up if this doesn't jive with you, Whittaker, but I think you get a text as you're sitting there like thinking and looking up or trying to puzzle out like what this creature is you summoned. You get a text from Whittaker like, we need to talk soon. Some things happened today. So you know that like either you're all going to meet and have like a serious talk, because you've had some serious talks today. Like while it was sort of a planned to be a lighthearted and easygoing like training with magic day, a creature was summoned. We found out a lot about Damien, and now Whittaker is saying that he didn't have a calm day either. So the next critical event, I think, is going to be a meeting of this group and perhaps repercussions from what happened today.
Okay. And then I also would like to ask, in regards to Damien, is this person connected to current events more than they are saying? Is like Damien bringing us like bad luck or something, or is he just happenstance he's here with us and bad things are happening?
Damien is more significant than he might seem on a surface level.
Okay.
And you know this because of all the times Aidan has said, I don't understand him. And she's an angel whose family are literal demons. She should understand him and the things that they do, because she seems to understand a lot about everything else. And so the fact that he's an outlier is significant. And because that ties him to her, it ties him to everyone else in this group because of your interconnectedness, despite you all coming from very different paths.
Okay. I technically get one more question, but none of them really work. I guess I can ask, is this
I'll give you a
connected to
freebie.
previous
You have 4
mysteries?
questions. I can't expect you to have them all pre-prepared. Like if you just have a general question, I'll let you ask that.
I was not prepared for that. Raven is just still a little bit not suspicious of this wind spirit, but she kind of wants to know, like, was this completely by accident? Did literally the wind just happen to open the book? Or was this, like, she doesn't think the spirit itself is evil, but she's just a little unnerved that it showed up and, like, believes it needs to protect her.
That's something
So, yeah, is it
evil in the neutral
complete
box.
randomness of the universe? Or, like,
Well,
Raven
I'll
just
tell you
needs some
this.
reassurance?
It certainly doesn't feel random.
Okay.
Everything that has happened since your eyes have been opened in a literal and metaphorical way to this hidden world, whether things are connected or not, there seems to be a purpose at work here. It could be that it's just sort of a logical progression. You don't know, because you don't know any other witches besides maybe Granny Jones. You probably should go talk to her. I mean, she gave you that book and she gave you that deck and said, when you try things, just see what happens. And this is what happened. And the fact that you used to see Ghosty and Tom back when you first met Felicity, and the fact that she's known them and had them by her side all this time, but you closed that part of you off, it kind of makes sense that it's now opening up and almost catching up to where you are now.
Yeah. Okay. That makes me feel better.
And that's where we're going to end the session.
Aidan's leveling up.
Nice.
Nice.
That session did not go where I thought it was going.
It was
Right? But it went
lighthearted.
awesome.
It was supposed to be so lighthearted.
Episode 10. The one where we all suddenly remembered Damien is a fucking demon.
Yeah! Yeah, a lot of hard and complicated truths came out this episode.
Hell yeah. Love it.
And hopefully you like Wendy.
I love Wendy.
That was so good.